The action begins right now on FSN Live.
Presented by your Northwest Chevy dealers.
Cougars fans are already one up. They won the bidding war for hurricane relief and the right to fly their colors off the Space Needle in Seattle. They come to the Motley Cut looking for consecutive victories in this building, but Husky fans are feeling good about their situation after a victory on the road at Arizona last week. It is Rivalry Day on FSN. FSN Live Rivalry Day presented by your Northwest Chevy dealers. FSN Live at its best. 4 teams, 2 games, 1 network, and welcome into Husky Stadium along with Sonny Six-Killer and Mark Rippon. I'm Brian Davis. Washington State is trying to stop a 7-game slide. Rip, how do they do it here today?
Guys, leading football games hasn't been a problem for Washington State. 6 of the last 7 times they've played, they've held games late into the second half. Today they got to find a way to get things done. Someone's got to make a play to get them on track.
For Washington last week, 6, a huge victory at Arizona. How do the Huskies keep it going?
I tell you what, when you win, it's the best feeling in the world. It's been 2 years of winning the Pac-10. Today, they got to stop Jerome Harrison, a great runner from Washington State, and also don't turn the ball over, especially at Husky Stadium.
We will be back here at halftime, and we will be rolling along today. The Apple Cup, the Civil War to follow right now, though. Upstairs, Steve Fiziak, DeMarco Farr, Cara Capuano with the call on FSN. See you at halftime on FSN Live.
It's a cool day on the lakes of the Pacific Northwest as we ready for the Apple Cup rivalry. Bragging rights are on the line for the Cougars and Huskies coming up next.
It's been a tough year for the Cougars and Huskies. Washington State is winless in the conference this season, with 4 of those losses by 3 points. Meanwhile, Washington snapped a 14-game Pac-10 losing streak this past weekend versus Arizona. But you can throw out all the records and forget all the stats. This is a game for in-state bragging rights. It's the start of a Pac-10 triple hitter here on FSN. The 2005 Apple Cup coming up next.
Welcome to Seattle, Washington, where the Cougars have painted the Space Needle. And over at Husky Stadium, the crowd is getting revved up for the kickoff. It's the 98th battle between the Washington State Cougars and the Washington Huskies. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Fiziak. This is DeMarco Farr. He played in 4 Apple Cups, all 4 with the Washington Huskies, but you are determined today to split that apple right down the middle.
I'm a fair and impartial judge. I even wore a red tie today.
Well, then let's start with Washington State. This is a team who's had several tough losses this year, despite having the guy who leads the nation in rushing, Jerome Harrison.
Yeah, when you talk about Pac-10 running backs, most people want to say Reggie Bush or Lendell White. Well, here's a guy that outrushed them all. He sports a 13-game, 100-yard rush streak. He's an amazing running back, almost 1,700 yards, 15 rushing touchdowns, very patient, shows a great burst, and I'm telling you, he's the best cutback runner in the nation.
And on the Husky side, the coaches are saying they have to do more creative things to allow Standback, Sims to make plays.
And that's what you're going to have to do. Isaiah Standback is the best, or one of the best, runner-gunners in the nation today. You have to find ways to get him the football and get him in the open field. James Sims has really been the story this week for the Huskies. Last 3 weeks, his only 3 starts, 393 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's been a shot in the arm for the Huskies offense.
Let's now go to the 3rd member of our broadcast team down in the field with Cara Capuano.
Well, Steve, you mentioned right at the top of the broadcast that, yes, indeed, the Space Needle, the quintessential landmark in Husky country, is painted crimson this week. Why on earth is there a Cougar flag flying on top of the needle? Fans earned the right to fly their colors and paint the top of the needle by winning the Space Needle Challenge. Washington State fans donated almost $98,000 over a 2-week period. That about $30,000 more than the Husky fans collected. So Washington State flying their Apple Cup colors right in the middle of Husky country. It is exciting. The fans are fired up, Steve, and I will mention, like DeMarco, this is not Cougar Crimson that I'm wearing, everyone. It's more of a salmon. Let's send it back to you.
Thank you, Cara. Kickoff is right around the corner for the 2005 Apple Cup. But first, after a quick timeout, we'll send you to the College Football Saturday studio with Mike Goldberg, Kellen Winslow, and Billy Ray Smith.
Welcome to our college football Saturday studios in Los Angeles. Alongside the Hall of Famers Kellen Winslow, Billy Ray Smith, I'm Mike Goldberg. Guys, we're getting set for the competition for the 98th Apple Cup.
And listen, I think what you have to look for is Washington State. Just give the ball to Jerome Harrison, the nation's leading rusher. Let him carry the rock.
And for Washington, it's all about that momentum. Can they carry the momentum over from the win against Arizona last week? And can they take into this game for next season? Good recruits coming in for next season.
It is all about recruiting, especially up there when they battle for the Apple Cup. Then they try to battle for the blue chip player to try to turn those programs around. Kickoff of game 2 of our 4 today on FSN. Washington State and Washington coming up next from Seattle.
College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera, the new value frontier. And brought to you in part by Fellows, the world's toughest shredders. And by your local Pontiac dealers. Fans, go to pac-10.org to vote for the Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance of the year and a chance to win a pair of season tickets to your favorite Pac-10 football team. Pontiac, official performance machines of the Pac-10. There's a chill in the air in the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures in the low 40s, but the sun beginning to break through for the Apple Cup game between Washington State and Washington. Now, the Huskies are coached by Tyrone Willingham in his first year. He was Pac-10 Coach of the Year in 1999 with Stanford, has done a great job, and he is determined to bring the Huskies back to the elite level. And then there's Bill Doba, 14 years assistant coach for Mike Price at Washington State. Great defensive mind, and he is enjoying this one, but he wants his Cougars to get back onto the winning level. They've been in every game this year. Well, Washington won the toss, and they have elected to receive. So here we have the kickoff, and the Cougars will take it at the 20-yard line as the ball skids out of bounds. Tyrone Willingham wanted it first because they were prepared with their quarterback Isaiah Stanback. He is the best athlete on the team. He's from Seattle Garfield High School. He's thrown for almost 2,000 yards this year, and coming off his best game in a victory over Arizona, ran for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. Stanback will have James Sims behind him, number 22. He has a big physical offensive line that's led by Joe Toledo. He's back and healthy and made a difference last week in their win in Tucson. Sims will get the call in the carry, but he's stuffed by Aaron Johnson and also by Amu. Now the backs and receivers, James Sims, we told you about, 445 yards rushing. But that offensive line is led by Joe Toledo, 6'6", 290. The offensive line averages over 300 pounds. Backs and receivers, there's Sims. Watch out for Sonny Shackelford, 37 catches this year. And Robert Lewis is a big tight end. Stand back now on 2nd down, 11 yards to go. And he throws it out to Anthony Russo, and Russo is up near a first down, but knocked out of bounds near the 29. Now on the defensive side for Washington State, that front line, Christo Bruce is their tough guy. He has 10 sacks this year. In the interior, it's Johnson and Amu, and Braidwood has 5.5 sacks. Davis, Dildine, terrific outside linebackers. Durting, though, is the best, but he's playing with a damaged knee. Dada, Frampton, Abdullah, and Teams are the defensive backs. 3rd down and 1. Sims hammers the middle. He appears to get the first down with that final surge forward, DeMarco.
And the Huskies have done a great job on this drive. They've mixed it up, run and pass. They tried Sims early in the first play. It gets stuffed. They come right back with a quick out, getting Stanback into the game. They get the first down with Sims again. You have to, if you're the Huskies, you have to sustain a drive. You have to get first downs. Keep that Cougar offense on the bench.
And this offensive line has 4 seniors, but they have not been a power-driving offensive line until the last 3 games. Stand back, play action pass. He flips it off to the right side, but he did have a receiver in the area. That was Russo, but Stanback obviously just trying to get rid of it as he was pressured from the interior. Defensive tackle Aaron Johnson.
But you talk about the keys to the game for WSU. Take advantage of the DBs when they get on offense. The Huskies are a little weak at corner. Take advantage of that with Jason Hill. For Washington, establish the run game and also limit the turnovers. That has been the death knell for the Huskies all year. You have to keep the possession when you're on offense.
Stand back, 2nd and 10. Not much. Matter of fact, they will lose 2 yards in the play. And it was Will Dirting, the middle linebacker, who is the senior. And Scott Davis also helping out, number 42, but there's Dirting from Okanagan, Washington.
Well, you see the Huskies trying to run the power play. You see the big tackle trying to come around and make a block. When Will Dirting says nothing doing, he reads the play in a hurry, meets the back in the hole. And anytime you see the pull, if you can beat that offensive lineman to the hole, you're going to win every time. Will Dirting does a great job on that play. He's a tough player.
Well, here's a situation where in the past Washington State likes to blitz a lot. Can you do that with stand back?
Absolutely, you can blitz stand back. You just have to get to him quick.
They rush 4. Stand back will now run. And he comes up shy of a first down by about 4 yards. Tackle made by Eric Frampton, a strong safety.
Well, they rushed 4 to get the stand back. They tried to run the twist game in the middle. The offensive line does a great job of picking it up. And you see that big hole. That's what Stanback sees. He has to take it. But, hey, there's Will Dirting to make him cut. Brings him down short of the first down.
Brandon Harvey is back deep. He's awaiting the punt from Sean Douglas. Douglas standing at his 21-yard line. Harvey's back near the 20 and gets off a very short punt taken at the 31-yard line. There's a fair catch. And we'll take a look at Washington State's quarterback. There he is, Alex Brink. He's having a very fine year for just a sophomore. Over 2,600 yards passing and 22 touchdowns. His hometown, well, he's from Pac-10 country, only it's Oregon Duck country from Eugene Sheldon High School. He likely will go right away to Jerome Harrison as running back. Although they have 3 receivers on the right side, now they send one in motion in Chris Jordan. Harrison, about a 5-yard gain up past the 35-yard line. Well, this has been a very fine offense. Defensively is where they had the problems, and it starts up front. And on that offensive line, Millhauser is the best run blocker and pass blocker, but they are huge on that line. And the backs and receivers, we told you about Harrison over 1,600 yards rushing. Watch out for 83, Jason Hill, 57 catches and 25 touchdowns the last 2 years. And the ball is dropped by Jason Hill. He had some challenges in that department last week in their last against Oregon. Defensively on the front, Mariaki, Afoa, Hopoi, Gunheim on that front side. Mariaki has 3 sacks this year. Bomar in for the injured Lobendine, White and Benjamin. Benjamin's great linebacker and a very young and sometimes beaten defensive backfield. Brink with plenty of time, and he'll get the first down at the 45-yard line to Jason Hill.
Washington State sticking right with the script. You come out early, you're running with Harrison, and then you go right back to your money maker. Jason Hill beats man-on-man coverage. Anytime you can get him matched up one-on-one with a corner or the safety, look for Brink to go that way. He's a dynamic receiver. The Huskies are going to have to do a better job of bumping him at the line of scrimmage to disrupt his speed.
From the 49 now, 2 receivers off to the left side. Washington blitzes, and Harrison finds a seam and gets about another 5-6 yards. And early in the game, that's been the difference. Washington had 2 second and long. Meantime, State on their first possession has had 2 second and shorts.
Absolutely, that's where you want to be if you're an offense. 3rd and shorts, 2nd and shorts. You don't want to be 3rd and long, especially when the Cougars are on defense. They'll come after you. The Huskies have a pretty good pass rush from their defensive line, but you want to be in 3rd and shorts if you're on offense.
2nd down, play action. Brink steps up. He's in trouble, and he's sacked. They brought the blitz. Evan Benjamin, who's playing the best game of the year for the Huskies. He has been their defensive MVP.
Yeah, they came with the zone blitz, which means Evan Benjamin's going to be unblocked. You watch him. The offensive lineman for Washington State, he sees it late. That's my man. He's already on my quarterback. That's what we call the lookout block. You say, hey, quarterback, look out, I missed. He has been the man for the Huskies on defense.
Well, he was the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week for his performance against Arizona. 10 tackles, 2.5 behind the line of scrimmage and 1 sack. He already has 1 sack in this game on the Cougars' first offensive possession. 3rd and 9 for Alex Brink. First down, though, Jason Hill to the 30-yard line.
The Huskies rushing 4, dropping 7. You watch the game to the right side, a little ET game. It gets split. That gives Brinks a nice window to throw to, and anytime he can get a full view of Jason Hill, he's going to hit that zone every time. He is dangerous when in the open field. You have to jam him. The Huskies are playing way off of him right now. You have to look, and they're going to switch up their coverage and go a little press man if they're going to be successful.
Brink shows run. He might be changing it here. No, he's going to go to Harrison, and they read it well, and the interior sets him down gun high. Let's send you to our College Football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Well, Fizz, for those of you who we took out of the Oklahoma-Texas Tech game, here's the update. 17-14 Texas Tech. Adrian Peterson runs right over a would-be tackler. Oklahoma leads 21-17, under 1 minute remaining in Lubbock. We'll keep you updated on this one and how it finishes. Fizz.
Thank you, Mike. Right now, Washington State looking for they're at the Husky 31-yard line. 2nd down, a long 10.5 yards to go. Brink with a blitz. He's got somebody open. It's Jason Hill, just beyond his reach.
That was one of our keys to the game. Take advantage of the corners of the Huskies. Jason Hill matched one-on-one with Matthew Fontaine. You see the protection. They do a good job stopping Manasseh Hopoy, the big defensive lineman from Washington. There's no pressure. You watch, he has him wide open, just can't quite get it to him, just out of reach, and that's when you say, Lord, just give me one more step. That's what Jason Hill's thinking right now. If I had one more step, that'd be 6.
Now 3rd down and long. Brink with the screen. Harrison finds the middle. He escapes and gets the first down on a brilliant move, and then a late flag.
Looks like we may have a hold out there on the 3rd move. Trying to spring Harrison on the screen. That's the tough part with Harrison on the screen. He's not going to end up where he catches the ball. He's a great cutback runner, and sometimes you'll lose your guy, and when you're blocking somebody, you'll do anything you can to stop and protect when you're running back.
Illegal block in the back, number 86 offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 3rd down.
And you got to say that's on Harrison right there. I mean, he's such an elusive back. You see on the screen, they set it up well. The Huskies buy into it. He makes one guy miss. He's cutting across field, makes another guy miss. Then he cuts back. He brings the defender into the receiver, into his own blocker, and that's just one you have to say, hey, I tried hard, but I hit him in the back. Great run anyway.
Well, they run it again. It looks like they're going to spread out that offense. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Jason Hill is in the slot. Blitz on. Brink with time. Going deep. Touchdown Cougars. Greg Prater.
Going right back at it. They found a weakness. They're going right back at it. Throwing to the left side. Man-for-man coverage. Gets beat on the double move. Right to the corner of the end zone. Just the way you draw it up. Just the way you practice it. Touchdown Cougars.
Boy, they really attacked. And twice on 3rd and long, they came through and got a first down and then a touchdown. So it's 7-0 Washington State. Alex Brink with his 23rd touchdown pass of the year. A beautiful strike to Greg Prater from Riverside, California. Greg Prater with his second touchdown of the year. A beautiful pass on 3rd and long from Alex Brink. And an excellent executed drive by Washington State. They have not had problems scoring touchdowns this year. They're 5th in the Pac-10 in scoring, 35 points per game. They took just 4 minutes to score that touchdown.
Well, you got to believe in the game plan. This has been a theme for the Huskies. The corner play has really been suspect. Here he gets matched up one-on-one with Okabor, and it's just a straight go route to the end zone. He just doesn't have the speed to pick up with it. And if you're the Cougars offensive side, you say, hey, if the weak point is the corners, I'm going to put 4 wides out there, so you're going to have 4 corners on the field. I'm going to beat you down the field every time.
Vildoba has to like that. Twice they came up big plays on 3rd and long. And right after the penalty that got them the first down, that brought them back to 3rd and 10. Lewis will bring it back for Washington. And he's up to the 23-yard line where Stanback will start his offense again. Our college football quadruple header continues after our game with 10th ranked Oregon taking on Oregon State, and then 16th ranked Fresno State looking to upset number 1 ranked USC. Our college football coverage continues all day right here on FSN. I'll tell you, Mike Bellotti might be coach of the year. The job he's done losing Kellen Clemens, and they could be 10-1 after today. They could be knocking on that BCS door. I think they should be.
Never count out the Civil War there. Always a war down.
You got that right. Stanback back to throw, going deep. He has Russo out there, but over his head.
That time it looked like the Cougars, the linebackers had stepped up into the line of scrimmage, faking blitz. Whenever you do that, that's your deception. You have to get back quick. Stanback sees it, finds the open man. You watch that quick gun straight down the middle. Just a little too long, but he has great protection up front. You see Christo Bruce coming around the corner. He beats Joe Toledo. That's the marquee matchup we're looking for. Bruce against Toledo. You have to say Bruce won that battle on that play.
An offensive coordinator, Tim Lupano, going for it on 1st down, going deep. Here's Stanback running his option, muscles past the 30-yard line to the 31. You'll rarely see quarterbacks take on a defender like that, but earlier, Tim Lupano was telling us that he's a guy, a quarterback, you have to calm down. He's a very fiery competitor.
Very emotional guy. His nickname is Zeus. He's just a chiseled guy, very athletic. You say it's rare when you see a quarterback run into defenders and really take on guys. Well, you won't see a quarterback like Isaiah Stanback. He's truly special.
Tyrone Willingham told us he's the best athlete on the team at the age of 13. He was clocked throwing a fastball at 85 miles an hour. Now they'll run Sims, and Sims dives forward. He gets the first down to the 35-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline to Kara Capuano.
Guys, I just wanted to add a little bit more to the nickname story on Isaiah Stanback. His high school teammates named him Zeus because he used to throw lightning bolts down the field. We mentioned his arm. We saw it last week in Arizona. We'll see if Zeus airs out now that they've got the first down. Steve?
Lightning bolts? I thought it was because of his body. Lightning bolts. I get it now.
Zeus. He's a Greek god playing in the Pacific Northwest. And here's that razzle-dazzle. They're going to go deep. Shackelford. He makes the catch, and Sonny is gone. Kenny James with the touchdown toss.
It's the halfback pass. You watch Kenny James, does a great job. He looks like Isaiah Stanback. You find it. It's 3 deep back there. Washington State has the play covered. Sonny Shackelford just comes up with a big play. He can go up and get the football. The Huskies pulling out the bag of tricks early.
But it's not like they fooled him throwing into 3 defensive men. What a start to this one. 7-7. Tyrone Willingham going with the razzle-dazzle early. James to Shackelford for the touchdown. Sonny Shackelford is all smiles. 65-yard catch for a touchdown, tying this game at 7-all. 98th meeting between Washington and Washington State. 77-yard drive in just 4 plays. 1:38 off the clock. Coach Willingham would like to see more of that.
Get points any way you can, pulling out all the tricks. You may see more before the game's over.
Short kick. Percy will take it past the 20-yard line and nailed down at the 23.
Now here's the touchdown here. It's a halfback pass. It's designed to beat this corner right here. He's supposed to come up and defend the run. But you watch Wazoo, they don't buy it. The corner drops out. Now watch the adjustment he makes going across the field, and it's just a great pass. 3 defenders in the area. Sonny Shackelford just goes up and gets the football and says, hey, this is my game. It's my Apple Cup. I want the touchdown. He beats 3 defenders.
These rivalry games always are exciting, even when you got 2 teams with losing records. Harrison again knocked down. Well, we could see a lot of points because we have 2 defenses that give up the most points in the Pac-10 Conference. The Huskies give up 31 points per game. The Cougars the most at 32.5 points per game. There is Alex Brink. Completed a touchdown on 3rd and long to start their first offensive possession. This is their 2nd possession. Brink will have Harrison as the lone setback on 2nd down, 11 yards to go now. Harrison just 8 yards on 4 carries. Brink swings it out to Harrison, makes the defender miss. And it's 1-on-1. Harrison against Wallace, and he was able to beat him.
Right to the teeth of the zone blitz. You see him coming off the corner. Now this is what you want if you're the Huskies. You want to make Brink throw it where you want him to throw it. You get Harrison out in the corner, but this is where he's dangerous. He can make any one man miss. You're going to have more than one guy out there. Good blitz by the Huskies, even better read by the Cougars.
3rd down and 3. Jordan goes motion. They swing it to Hill, and Hill diving forward. Let's see where the mark is. It's at the 34-yard line. They needed to get to the 33 for a first down, so he just does get it. But Jason upset with himself because he slipped and could have had 5 more. There for the play, Evan Benjamin, the 6-foot senior from Redmond, Washington, having a heck of a year.
We're going to call his name out a lot, Evan Benjamin, but on the receiver screen with as far off as the Huskies are playing, trying to respect Jason Hill's speed, it leaves yourself open underneath for the screen, and the Cougars doing a great job of getting the first down.
Brink going deep, looking for Prater, and it is incomplete, but there's a flag down. They had Deshaun Goldson having to take the slot receiver, who's a safety, on a wideout.
Well, that's what happens when Washington State keeps switching in and out. They go back from regular to 4 wides. The Huskies get caught with a linebacker on a receiver, tries to take advantage of it. You see the little bump right there, and anytime you impede that receiver's ability to catch the football, that little yellow flag is going to come out. I like aggressive defense. I also like when you have to call it fair, and that was a pass interference.
Mike Levenseller, who's the offensive coordinator for Bill Doba in Washington State, he said the Washington corners are very aggressive.
Very.
What was he intimating?
That they can get beat deep.
Okay.
That was a nice way of saying we can go around them.
Well, they went deep once for the touchdown, and Greg Prater. Now they'll go Harrison's way, and Harrison off the right side for about 3. Tackled by Taj Bomar, the middle linebacker, who is in replacing Joe Lovendyne. How about that? Texas Tech beating Oklahoma 23-21 on the final play of the game.
Wow. Texas Tech, one of the surprise teams. Oklahoma, even bigger surprise. We thought they'd be playing for the national championship. We thought Adrian Peterson would run away with the Heisman.
Now, when you say we, you mean you.
We in the nation.
When the season began, I thought Texas was better than Oklahoma, and you and I have seen USC a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Brink. Almost It is caught by Jordan. I thought it was going to be intercepted, but it was tipped right into the hands of Chris Jordan for a first down for the Cougars.
Just a heartbreak of a play for C.J. Wallace. Does a great job. Looks like he just mistimes his jump. But this is what Brink does so well, or what he has been doing well as of late. Moving in the pocket, buying himself some time. Throws a pass. C.J. Wallace has a beat on it. Mistimes his jump. Great job coming down with the football, Chris Jordan. Keeps the drive alive. That's one you got to have if you're the Huskies defense. You need those big plays.
Instead of a first down for the Huskies, it's a first down for the Cougars in the red zone now at the 22-yard line. And there's C.J. Wallace, who is second in the team in tackles, but still does not have an interception this year. And that was the big key last year. The Huskies, their quarterbacks were picked off 3 times. Brink was not intercepted, and he led his team to a victory last year. Cougars broke a 6-game losing streak to the Huskies to post a 28-25 win.
And you watch, he's in the air. You see C.J. Wallace coming over. Does he have it? I think he has it. That's good in the NFL. 2 feet in. Definitely good for college.
We've got a timeout on the field. Tied at 7. Tyrone Willingham against Bill Dova in the Apple Cup in Seattle. Crowd on their feet here at Husky Stadium. Alex Brink back to throw. 7 for 11 in the first half. Scrambling away past the 20, past the 15. First down, Cougars inside the 10-yard line.
Last night in our production meetings, we talked about Alex Brink and his running ability. You see the game up front. Now watch it just open up. There's no middle linebacker with 4 wide receivers in the middle. He's going to have to turn his back and pick up the inside receiver. Every time Alex Brink sees that, he's going to take it up the middle. Gains big yardage in the red zone for the Cougars.
Brink play action again, firing left. Off the hands of Cody Boyd, incomplete. Remember, starting tight end Troy Bieneman injured, out for the rest of the year, and Boyd stepping up. He's a big target at 6'8".
That was a mismatch. That was a tight end on a defensive end. That's Grayson Gunheim covering the tight end in the end zone. It's a zone blitz, which means the end has to pick up a cover. Alex Brink doing a great job. The Cougar offense doing a great job of picking up the mismatches just out of reach.
And I'm not sure if Gunheim just got a finger on to deflect it just a tad. Harrison, nothing, and he will be dropped for a yard loss. So Jason Harrison now just 6 carries in the game for 10 yards.
And that's what you have to do if you're the Huskies defensive line. You have to get upfield and disrupt blocking assignments. Manasseh, oh boy, having a tough year. Talked to Coach Willingham about it. He says he's frustrated, which means he's being double teamed, but he can still be a disruptive force without making plays. There he does it, disrupts it, makes Harrison cut back in the backfield.
It's another 3rd and long. Last time they had a 3rd and long inside the red zone, they scored a touchdown to Prater. Brink loops it to the right, catch is made. They deny the touchdown as they go to their tight end.
Quick out, trying to catch the man-on-man with the outside linebacker, a strong safety. You got to throw that pass on time so the tight end has a chance to turn it upfield and actually take on the defender. You watch Brink gets to his drop, pump fakes, throws it. Now watch the defender. He gets to the ball carrier before he has a chance to turn upfield. That's how they teach it in practice. Save yourself a touchdown. Hold it to 3 points if you can.
So Ben Woodard, after a 5-yard gain, is the backup tight end. Now the field goal attempt. It is up, and it is good by Lauren Langley. Washington State, after taking a 10-7 lead, kicks off, and the Huskies make a big mistake as they decide to bring the ball out of the end zone. And it was almost Roy Lewis doing a little double take in the end zone. Should I or should I not? And I'm sure Tyrone Willingham.
Oh, he's going to tell you.
If you hesitate, go to one knee.
Right. It will never happen again, trust me. With that man coaching, that will never happen again. That's a learning lesson right there. for the return man.
And that guy is all about attention to detail, Tyrone Willingham. They've got Standback out at wide receiver, and the quarterback is Casey Paws, who throws him the football, and Isaiah with the catch, but a very short game now. Standback played wide receiver his first 2 years for the Huskies, then moved back to the position he wanted to play, where he's successful in high school at Garfield, the quarterback spot. So Paws now will stay in.
Well, it's an interesting situation. Your best athlete on the field happens to be the quarterback. Well, if you want to get the ball to your best athlete, you're going to have to bring in the backup quarterback. We're going to see this a lot.
Paws goes to the sideline. Standback back in as the QB. And he'll flip it to the right. And reading it beautifully is the defense led by Wally Dada.
Well, the Huskies come out and run the exact same play just to the other side, trying to catch Washington State in the blitz, trying to catch them in a man-on-man situation. Washington State doing a great job of disguising their blitzes, disguising their coverages. The corners look like they're going to back off. They stay up. It's going to be tough to fool them. If you're the Huskies, you're just going to have to take a shot deep to get some respect from these corners.
3rd and 12. Shackelford scored the touchdown wide left. Standback, looking to escape, in trouble, throws it away. Wow.
Will Dirty came on a blitz and just destroyed the running back. And it looked like it just scared Isaiah Standback. He didn't know what to do. His running back got crushed right in front of him.
Well, look at Rob Akey. He's excited.
Fired up.
And there's the former defensive coordinator, now the head coach, Bill Doba. He's excited and proud of the way the Cougars set up that play. We'd like to welcome those of you who are watching Big 12 football, Oklahoma against Texas Tech. What a game there. The Red Raiders win. We are live from Husky Stadium in Seattle, along with DeMarco Farr and Kara Capuano. I'm Steve Pizziak. Here's Trandon Harvey fumbling it, picking it back up, but apparently they are marking him down at the 36-yard line. Washington and Washington State have been playing football since 1900. This is the 98th meeting. The Huskies with 63 wins, the Cougars with 28 against 6 ties. And in the first quarter, here is how they've scored. Alex Brink on 3rd and long went to Jason Hill once for a first down, and then to Greg Prater for the touchdown. Standback, he can run. He can also razzle-dazzle you, and he gets it to Kenny James, who throws it 65 yards to Sonny Shackelford to tie the game at 7. A field goal made it 10-7, and now the Cougars going. And Harrison breaking free. He is past the 40 to the 41. Instead of 2nd and long, it will be 2nd and about 5. Well, Final seconds of the first quarter, DeMarco.
He was wrapped up in the backfield, but this is why he's leading the nation in rushing. He just has a knack for shaking off defenders.
Averaging almost 170 yards per game. Well, here by the lake in Seattle, Washington, it's 10-7 Cougars over the Huskies in the 98th meeting between these two schools. It's been a tough year for Tyrone Willingham and Bill Doba. Washington is 2-8, 1-6 in conference play. Washington State 3-7 and looking for their first conference win. They have a 10-7 lead here from the 41. It is Harrison, only 15 yards on 7 carries prior to this run, and he gets about 3-4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and short.
You see the zone blocking by the Washington State Cougars. Sometimes they'll pull guys, other times they'll just go straight zone. They're going to try to cut the backside end and get up to the 2nd level. They have a pretty good offensive line. You mentioned Nick Milhauser, one of the better centers in the Pac-10. Calls out all the protections, a really smart guy, a position blocker. You see him right there in the middle of your screen. He's the primary blocker for Alex Brink.
They need to get to the 46 for a first down. Harrison gets it. slips away, and look at this. Instead of one, he's got the first down and hauled down inside the 25.
This is why he's so dangerous. It's going to take more than one guy to bring him down. You watch it up front, zone blocking all the way. You see they cut the backside in, and the safety who comes down and has to fill, he has to keep his feet. But against Harrison, it's going to be tough. He's a jitterbug type running back. You watch him make his moves. He's setting you up 3 moves ahead. He's an excellent running back. Great burst when he hits the hole. Tremendous weapon for the Cougars.
Let's see if Brink goes back to a no play action pass, and Brink will step up and be dropped for a 2-yard loss. But with that last run, Jerome Harrison moves into 5th place. Washington State career rushing history with 2,619 yards.
Here we go on the play fake. Then you watch. Alex Brink sees it. 4 wides again. I tell you what, if Manasseh Hopeway doesn't make this play, Brink is still running. He may bounce his head off the goalpost. It was wide open in the middle. Manasseh coming over, making a great play.
2nd down, 12 yards to go. Boy, they faked them all out that time except one man, and that's Hopeway chasing him. And the pass is thrown, and the catch is made inside the 20-yard line at the 18, and some complaints coming from the Husky side because they thought the man was out of bounds.
A little bit of a tap dance here on the sideline. You love the play. We call this the submarine play. Everybody goes one direction. The tight end slips around. Great job by the Huskies picking it up. But then you see it. I don't know.
I don't know if he came back in from out of bounds, if he was out of bounds and came back in. Harvey did have one in bounds, but watch as he's approaching the football.
That's a tough play to defense because everything in your read says run to the right except for one guy, the tight end coming underneath. That's why they call it a submarine, and usually he's wide open. Great job by the Husky defense picking it up, making Brink have to go to a second option, which is the sideline route. Throws a great pass. We just don't know if he was in bounds or not.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at it because it looked like Harvey was out of bounds with one foot and came back in.
Throw by Brink. You watch.
Right there.
Right there. That's a tough call by the officials. He's got to watch the hands, then the feet. The back judge was covered by the defender, so it's left up to one official. Everybody likes to complain to officials about, hey, you missed that call, but I always say the same thing. What would you do if you were down there?
DeMarco, you're absolutely right, but I'm sure Tyrone Willingham has to be impressed with Mr. Brink. This guy's a sophomore quarterback. He's 9 for 12, 123 yards, and he has the best passing rating as a sophomore at Washington State than any sophomore quarterback with over 60 pass attempts. 139.2. I mean, that's better than Jack Thompson, Jason Gesser, Drew Bledsoe, Ryan Leaf, Tim Rosenbach. Alex Brinks is going to have a heck of a career in Pullman.
That's an impressive list of quarterbacks. Jack Thompson, the throwing Samoan. You got Mark Rippon, who's at the top. Drew Bledsoe, Ryan Leaf, second pick in the draft. And here's this guy, better than all of them by his sophomore year.
And he led the Cougars to that 28-25 victory last year. Alex Brink threw for 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 1. And they held off the Huskies' rally late because Standback came off the bench and almost pulled the upset. Cougars won, no, 28-25. And both of these schools have great quarterback traditions. Look at the Cougars with Bledsoe, Thompson, Leaf, Gesser, Rippon, Goddard, Rosenbach. Is Brink that next big guy? Well, he came into this game just 392 yards shy of becoming the 4th Cougar with over 3,000 yards passing. Leaf did it. Rosenbach did it. Gesser did it.
Well, remember, I was out here when Drew Bledsoe made his debut, and we talked about it earlier. Watching the way he released the football, he was going to be something special.
Well, they will change the call, saying The wide receiver was out of bounds, so a big roar of approval here in Seattle. And Tyrone Willingham likes that, so instead of a first down, it will be a 3rd down and 12 situation for the Cougars.
It looked like the right call. That's what we had up here. Now, if you're the Huskies, you try to get pressure with 4. You tried the pass rush games, and Alex Brink has just picked you apart running the ball. You have to say with 3rd and long, maybe you could gamble that you'd bring him down before he gets the first down, but I look for the Huskies as a blitz here.
Well, it might be from Evan Benjamin's side, number 27. He has 3 sacks this year. Evan up on the right side. And here he comes. And they forced the sack. Brink saw Benjamin streaking in from the right side.
Well, if you're the Cougars, you say we're going to take advantage of the corners. But if you're the Huskies, we're going to blitz so you don't have time to catch a read. You see Benjamin coming. He beats the block of Harrison, makes Brink have to step up, and then the rest of his buddies just show up. Wilson Afoa getting there. Great play by the Huskies. Great call by the Husky coaching staff.
So a 50-yard field goal attempt by Lauren Langley. It would have been about 40, but the Husky defense prevails, and this one will be wide to the left side and short. It stays Cougars 10, Huskies 7. Benjamin's defense steps up. College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera, the new value frontier. And brought to you in part by Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. And by KFC's $4 meals, all the quality of a casual dining meal at half the price. And the First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% every day. It's all about the O. Here in Seattle, Washington has the football, giving it to James Sims, who's been really held down after coming off a 200-yard rushing performance last week at Arizona, only with 5 yards on 5 carries on this one. Let's send you to our College Football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Fizz, it's the 47th edition of the Iron Bowl. Number 8, Alabama. Number 12, Auburn. All Auburn so far. Top rusher in the SEC, Kenny Irons with a touchdown. 21-0. The winner guarantees themselves at least a share of the SEC West.
Back here, Mike, on 2nd down and 8. Stand back, sneaking forward. And right now, you've got to credit the Cougars. They knew the 2 guys they had to slow down were Standback and Sims, and they've controlled both in this game.
Yeah, great job by the Cougar defensive line, controlling Sims, really controlling the blocks up front. But as far as controlling Standback, you can do that with the blitz. Anytime he sees more than 4 rushing, he's a threat to pull it down. And that time, looked like he may have missed a hole right to his left, but does a great job of finding yards out of nothing.
94, M. Christo Bruce in the eyes of Isaiah Standback. Standback rolling to his right side, flips over the head of Sonny Shackelford, incomplete. 4th down, punting situation.
That's what we talked about, the intermediate routes for Standback. He's got a hit. He had Shackelford wide open, and he just overthrew him, threw it over his head, may have thrown off balance. That's one thing you talked about, the emotional state of Isaiah Standback, maybe a little too excited, puts a little too much mustard on the football.
Brandon Harvey back, standing at his 12-yard line. Sean Douglas, number 17. Douglas really hammers this one inside the 5-yard line, and it dies at the 3 and is touched at the 7-yard line. An outstanding punt by Sean Douglas. So the Cougars will have 93 yards to go, and we come back. Cougars by 3, but DeMarco Farr, how many teams have quarterbacks on their punt team?
Not many. Here's Casey Paz right here. Lines up under center as the quarterback. Now watch him. He'll drop back. Now watch the shift. He's over here. Now watch the receivers. There's 2 over here. He's an eligible guy. trying to catch the Cougars off guard. Just a little wrinkle by the Huskies, testing the Cougar defense's discipline. Cougars doing a great job of recognizing it, getting out of it.
Well, Douglas's 54-yard punt pins the Cougars back, but here goes Harrison near the 10-yard line where he gains 3. Fine tackle by Evan Benjamin. Harrison really held down. He had the one long run. He has 54 yards total now on 10 carries.
Just caught him by a hair. Sometimes you just get that shoestring and down they go. Harrison, one of the most dangerous men on the planet.
Set the Pac-10 record last week with his 13th consecutive 100-yard game. The old record, J.J. Harrington of California with his 12. And here goes Harrison. Well, it's not going to be long before he has another 100-yard game in just the first half.
Well, this is his running style. It looks like he stopped. The Husky defenders may relax a little bit, and then boom, he's through the hole. There goes Benjamin again, coming with the zone blitz. Huskies doing a great job of stacking it up, but one thing they forgot to do was tackle the ball carrier. Out goes Harrison, gains the first down. Look at that hole. Just blows the side away. When you're playing against a guy like Harrison, it's the Barry Sanders rule. You got to get 11 guys around him at all times to bring him down.
He is such a patient runner, waiting for the holes to open up. And here goes Harrison again. This time he is stuck by Afoa and Hopoi and the middle linebacker Bomar. And the first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O.
Overstock. That's like my pantry in my kitchen. Overstocked with junk food.
You got to stop that too. Got to turn you on to the good life of carrot juice.
I love hot dogs.
I noticed. You ate a couple of Husky dogs up here in the media room earlier. It's second down and 9 yards to go. Brink back. He's got great protection. Now it arose as the DBs do their job. And Brink is sacked at the 12-yard line. What a play by Grayson Gunheim with his 5th sack this year.
Great job by Grayson, the great gun, his teammates call him. But you got to put this one square on the shoulders of Alex Brink. Great protection. January, February, March, got all day. And then he runs and tries to break contain. Not against a guy like Gunheim. He can run. He's a defensive end only by position. He has the speed of a linebacker. Not many quarterbacks are going to outrun Grayson Gunheim to the corner. Great job by the big sophomore.
He had 7 starts as a true freshman last year.
He looks like he can put on another 25 pounds.
You are absolutely right. Washington showing blitz from Whiteside. Now he drops back, just a 4-man rush. Brink will run, but he will be shy of the first down by about 4 or 5 yards.
That time the Huskies had a spy, linebacker Scott White, hanging in the zone. You see Scott White there, top of your screen. He's copying. That's what you call copying the quarterback, making sure he doesn't scramble. Always putting the body on him. Brink doing a great job of trying to get the first down, just not enough.
So now Kyle Bosler, one of the top punters in the Pac-10. In his career, he averages 42.5 yards per boot. And Shackelford with the catch, and he is tackled at the 36-yard line. I thought he would fair catch, but he decides not to. And when we return, we'll send you to our studio for an update.
FSN Live Rivalry Day presented by your Northwest Chevy dealers. Mark Rippon on the Cougars.
Well, with the 9th and 10th ranked defenses respectively, you'd expect a lot of offense, not enough scoring for the Cougs, though.
Sonny Six killer on the Huskies.
I tell you what, the Husky offense is not on track. One great play is it.
We'll hash it out at halftime right here at Husky Stadium in Seattle. 4 teams, 2 games, 1 network. Remember, the Civil War follows. We've got it all covered for you today on FSN Live.
Mike Goldberg, Kellen Winslow, Billy Ray Smith getting set for the College Football Saturday halftime report.
Hey, I'll tell you why USC must have a dominant performance against Fresno State today.
And I'll tell you why you better get your sandwich and soda pop before the Trojans and Bulldogs get after it. It's going to be a 60-minute game.
And I'll tell you this, DeMarco, Kellen didn't wear an orange sport coat today.
Isaiah Stanback with a first down toss to wide receiver Cody Ellis.
What a job by Zeus, buying time with a rush in his face, moving to his left, throws a strike, but it's going to come back.
And those are the things that Tyrone Willingham doesn't like to see, because he wants to clean up the penalties, clean up the turnovers. They say the offensive player pushed off.
15-yard penalty.
I'm not sure about that one. I thought it was going to be a face guarding penalty by the linebacker. You watch Stanback moving to his left, throws a wobbler. Look at the defender. Comes up, puts both hands in the air like Superman.
Looks like both guys were guilty. One did push off, but as you said, unless you have your head turned towards the quarterback,
it's supposed to be an automatic call when your head's not turned, but that might be one you want to pick up.
So now 1st and 25 for Stanback and the Huskies, and they have not run the ball well. Just 6 yards and 5 rushes by James Sims. And Stanback back stepping up. Now he will run. Great speed to the outside, and he gets out of bounds near the 35-yard line, so he gains about 14 back. He has tremendous speed. He was in the Husky track team last year. Runs a 6.89 in the 60 meters. And you get a look at his speed right here.
See him, Christo Bruce, going up around the corner. That's called a vertical hole by the defensive line. You leave your nose tackle on the line of scrimmage. The defensive end goes up beyond the quarterback. Against a quarterback like Isaiah Stanback, he's going to take it every time. He's going to rush for as many yards as you give him. Christo Bruce has got to come back on a wide rush like that.
Got to catch his breath here. 2nd down, 11 to go. Boy, they have completely stifled James Sims. Sims came in 393 yards rushing his last 3 games, including a 200-yard performance in the desert, Tucson, Arizona last week.
Well, he's not a secret anymore. Scott Davis doing a great job on the blitz. The defensive line for the Cougars doing a great job taking up bodies, frees up their linebacker. He gets in the backfield, makes it before James Sims has a chance to turn north and south.
Let's see if Rob Akey calls for the blitz. He's right now showing a rush. Will Dirting will blitz. Stanback with time down the middle. Shackelford, first down, 38-yard line.
As you said, the Cougars coming with the blitz. They try the Mike twist, which means both linebackers are going to cross in front of the center's face, hope for a pick. The Huskies doing a great job of picking up the blitz. Watch the Mike linebackers come through. Great pickup by the running backs. Isaiah Stanback, realizing he has a mismatch in the 6'2 Shackelford, goes up and gets the football. Alex Teams, 5'11", a good corner in his own right. Shackelford just out-bodies him for the football.
So Stanback marches him down after being pinned back because of the penalty. 1st and 25. He gets it. And now he'll roll to the right side. Braidwood chasing him, and Stanback will maybe gain 1. Let's send you to our College Football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Steve, a great finish at the Big House. Number 9 Ohio State, number 17 Michigan, 21-19 Wolverines, 29 seconds left. Antonio Pittman hits the end zone. Now if Penn State loses, the Buckeyes win the Big Ten.
Ohio State will be 9-2.
Wow. From the depths.
And I think they're 5-1 against Michigan the last 6 years.
Where would they be if Troy Smith started the season against Texas?
Good point. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 for Stanback. And the officials will stop play. Isaiah Stanback. It was the major concern for Bill Doba. The delay of game. That is our lead referee, Larry Farina. USC right at the top with Texas, both teams unbeaten. Miami now moving to the 3 spot. LSU playing better after a big win against Alabama last week. But the one team with another one loss, Oregon. They could be 10-1 if they beat Oregon State, and you can watch that game later today. Part of our triple header from the Pac-10. Oregon State and Oregon, and then USC hosting Fresno State. Stand back. Ooh, dangerous pass. Incomplete. Huskies wanted pass interference, but don't get it.
And that might be one you want back if you're Isaiah Stanback. The Huskies coming out in a triples formation. 3 wide receivers lined up to the left side of Stanback. Pulls it down, and now it becomes a free-for-all. The receiver's trying to get open. Stanback kind of throws a little too soon. Throws it to the inside shoulder of the receiver. Clean pass defense by Dildine, doing a great job of stopping the improvisation by Stanback.
3rd and 13. Blitz on. Screen over the head of his intended receiver, Craig Chambers, who was wide open, would have gotten the first down or at least put his team in field goal range.
It's hard to outthrow a guy or overthrow a guy that's 6'3". They're coming again with the blitz. You watch the pickup. The guard misses his man. He's in the face of Stanback, but I think he should have had this one right through his hands. Another missed opportunity for the Huskies.
So right now the Huskies have had one big play, and it was on a razzle-dazzle play, halfback pass to Sonny Shackelford for 65 yards. But outside that, the Cougars defense has done a much better job, and there's a fair catch by Harvey at the 10-yard line. Our Pac-10 players of the week.
Wow.
Evan Benjamin, tremendous game in Washington's win over Arizona. And Olsen, what a game against ASU. 5 touchdown passes, over 500 yards passing. And Paul Martinez, game-winning field goal in Pullman last week. And how many tough losses has Washington State suffered? 5 of their 7 losses to Marco have been by 4 points or less.
Playing good football, just can't finish at the end of games. That was one of our keys to victory. You got to finish.
Bill Doba said, hey, we've had big plays, but they haven't been at critical times. Harrison escaping outside. He gains about 5. So Jason Harrison now Jerome Harrison, excuse me, 75 yards rushing, just 25 yards shy of his 14th straight 100-yard game.
Par for the course for Harrison. He is the perfect back for this offense. A one-back attack, lots of speed, lots of cutback ability. Gets to the open field better than anyone that we've seen in the Pac-10.
He broke Reuben May's single-season rushing record last week. Now over 1,700 yards rushing. Brink fires, first down, Cody Boyd to the 33-yard line.
There's your mismatch again. The Huskies doing the zone blitz package. You see Grayson Gunheim, he has the tight end. It's deception. You put his hand on the ground, you make the quarterback think he's coming, and then he drops late to pick up the tight end. But any good tight end like Cody Boyd, he's just going to run right by that defensive end, put his hand up and say, hey, hit me, I'm wide open.
Brink overthrows his man, Greg Prater, who scored the only touchdown for Washington State on their first drive. Alex Brink having a solid game, though. He's 9 for 14 for 134 yards and the touchdown. Threw for 2 scores and 240 yards in their win last year in Pullman to beat the Huskies.
It's cold over there in Pullman. Trust me, I know.
This time of the year, always. And you wore that, what, cut jersey in the snow? Are you out of your mind? Here goes Harrison. He's got the first down. And Jerome to midfield and passed to the 46-yard line.
Watch the patience on this run. He's so smooth going around the corner. You watch the block here. Down block, down block. Watch the seal here. Bang. Gets it down. He cuts it outside of his block and just scoots on down the field. That's the power game of this one-back offense. They pull guys around. You get a mismatch. O-lineman on a safety, and there goes Harrison.
There's a penalty flag down and the handoff up the middle. Not sure if Washington was pulled off by the Cougar front line that may have jumped.
Yeah, going back to the half shirt, that was the last time I could wear a half shirt. I put on 20 pounds after I left school, and it all settled in my belly.
It will go against the Huskies. So that will make it a 1st down and 5. And Tyrone Willingham right now down by 3 points. He had a marvelous win at Arizona last week. That is the 4th penalty against the Huskies. Washington State only with 1.
Well, we asked Coach Tyrone Willingham, was the Arizona game the turning point for the Huskies? Is this going to be is that going to be the game that turns the program around? He said, well, 1 game's not going to be enough. We have to get 2, then 3. We have to get on a roll. So it's going to be hard to bring a smile to that man's face.
He is usually the same stoic look on the sideline, whether it's an interception or a touchdown. Brink, plenty of time, tosses, gets the 1st down. The catch was made at the 35-yard line. They needed to get to the 36 for the 1st down, and it will be a 1st down as Brink continues his success against the Washington defense.
Well, the Huskies going to a combo coverage on Hill, a safety and a corner, keeping the corner Matt Fontaine over the top and putting C.J. Wallace underneath. Hill doing a great job of shaking off the underneath defender, getting open for the 1st down.
And because they're picking up such solid yardage on passes and now runs, makes Jerome Harrison even more dangerous. Harrison 95 yards rushing on 14 carries in just the 1st half. Harrison, the hole was there for a moment, and then he made the rest on his own. A gain of about 4 yards, so he's at 99 yards.
And there's Taj Bomar, the middle linebacker, getting into the play, stepping in for the injured Joe Lobendon. And what a statement Coach Tyrone Willingham made about Joe Lobendon. If he could clone one guy on the team, it would be Joe Lobendon. They really miss his experience, his intensity on the field.
He has never played in an Apple Cup. Brink pumps one, now goes deep down the sideline, and this time well covered by the Husky secondary led by Deshaun Goldson.
There's the Huskies making the adjustment on Hill. The 1st quarter, we've seen a lot of receivers going right by the Husky corners. Now they're getting into more of the zone with the combo coverage. You watch Brink, drops back the pass, 3-step drop, pump fakes. It doesn't work. 2 defenders out there, 1 short, 1 high. Maybe got away with a little push off Hill. Great job by the Huskies making the adjustment, coming out and stuffing the deep ball for the Cougars.
Well, they bring in the nickel and dime defensive backs, but here's Evan Benjamin, bottom of your screen in the purple. He looks like he's going to be blitzing. Yes, he does. Brink, quick toss over the middle to Boyd, who is wide open. The pass behind, and Cody cannot hold on. It's 4th and 6.
Huskies caught off guard. They weren't ready on the snap of the football. They leave Boyd uncovered. He puts it in the vicinity. Boyd's got to come down with that. If he does, it's a touchdown.
But the pass behind. Now a field goal attempt by Langley of 48 yards. Missed one from 51 earlier. It is up long enough, but why? It is good. It is good, and Washington State goes up 6, 13-7 over the Huskies. Washington State, Alex Brink leading his team to 13 first half points. He had a tremendous play at the end of the half last week against Oregon with a Hail Mary pass that was successful for a touchdown. Well, now Washington has it, and they are at their own 26-yard line. So Brink takes him 58 yards at 2:52. Langley fires it through. Now Stanback has to come through with his own heroics. He is just 3 for 9 for 37 yards in the first half. They go straight to the air. They have had not much success on the ground, and he completes the pass to Sonny Shackelford, who has had a very good first half, over 100 yards now receiving. He had the 65-yard catch on the halfback pass from Kenny James for 65 in the score.
Well, you know the Huskies are going to come out gunning, so you look at the marquee matchup, Joe Toledo versus M. Christo Bruce. M. Christo Bruce coming inside, giving a window for Isaiah Stanback to throw to Shackelford. If you're the pass rush for the Cougars, you have to maintain your pass rush integrity and keep them in the pocket.
Blitz coming. Stanback stepping up. I have no idea how he was able to throw that pass with 3 guys dragging him down. He looked like old Los Angeles Ram Roman Gabriel.
Wow. Wow. I like that. Watch. Stanback drops back the pass. They missed the blitz, but still he's strong enough to get the pass off, and that's what he brings to an offense. He's a tremendous athlete, very strong. Just when you think you got him, you don't got him.
And last week it was Stanback who went to the sideline, and on a 4th down, instead of punting, he convinced his coach to go for it. And they beat Arizona, and they scored on a marvelous play to end the half. 70 yards in the air. Stanback talked Coach Willingham into letting him throw it as far as he could, and it resulted in a touchdown, and Washington went on to beat Arizona 38-14. And there are a lot of people here in Husky territory that are hoping that was maybe a moment that spurs the team on. Because if they win 2 in a row, it helps recruiting, it helps off-season conditioning, everything.
Well, that's what they count in football. When you go back and look at, when you count win streaks, you go back to when you started. It could be the last 4, it could be the last 2, and it carries over into spring, it carries over into the next training camp and on to the season. So a win is a win, and you move on with it.
But right now it's the Cougars by 6. Stanback with 117, and that last pass he was able to gain 3 instead of lose about 5. And there is Tyrone Willingham. He was Pac-10 Coach of the Year, leading Stanford to great success in 1999. They won the Pac-10 and sent the Cardinal to the first Rose Bowl since 1972.
I was a year old.
M. Christo Bruce. Watch that guy on the outside. He's a big playmaker, and it's big play time here. 3rd and 1. Washington could run the option, and they will, but the Cougars read it, and they drop Stanback for a 5-yard loss.
This is what we're talking about with lane integrity. They run the blitz. They fill up the A gap. It's imperative that the ends come up the field and build a wall right there. Build a wall so he can't get out. Great job by the defensive ends, keeping him in the pocket. That's how you play people like Michael Vick. That's how you play people like, what's the quarterback in New Orleans?
Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks, the same way. The scrambling quarterbacks, you have to get upfield, build a wall, and keep them in the pocket when you're blitzing.
So Bill Doba talking with his defense. Time here in the field with 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining. Our college football quadruple header continues after our game with 10th ranked Oregon taking on Oregon State, and then 16th ranked Fresno State looking to upset #1 ranked USC. Our college football coverage continues all day right here on FSN. Stanback has been frustrated. Sims, his top running back, only 6 yards on 6 carries, and for Isaiah, he's 5 for 11 through the air and 46 yards. As a matter of fact, his running back James has thrown for more yards than Stanback has on 1 play. Well, Brink waiting his term, and Mike Price was the head coach, and a guy who gambled all the time. Bill Doba always takes a page out of Mike Price's offensive playbook, and he may be going for it with a minute still left in the first half. They skip it to the punter. Douglas gets it off end over end. Harvey will let it go, and a great bounce inside the 20-yard line, still rolling towards the 10. How about this? Douglas, it looked like an ugly punt when it started, after he had to quick kick it, and it winds up going over 50.
Well, that's why they run a play like this. It confuses the defense. It confuses the returner. And what happens is somebody misses their block. Eventually, you get 3 guys running to the football. There's Casey Paws. It's dangerous to have your backup quarterback on the field with a trained punt return team. If he goes down, you're going to your third string quarterback if your starter gets hurt. So a great job. Casey Paws is a tough guy.
And now Bill Doba's philosophy may change. With 90 yards to go, they may be intent to just go to the locker room. He gives it to Harrison. Harrison breaks free. He is over the 100-yard mark for the 14th straight game, and that continues to be a Pac-10 best. This is his final game with the Cougars. Let's go down on the sideline to Kara Capuano.
Steve, even more impressive in that streak, he has topped the 100-yard rushing mark 8 times this season in the first half, including today. Back to you. There he goes.
107 yards, Kara, he has in the first half. And you tack on about 3 more. Clock will wind down inside 30 seconds to go. Cougars went for it. Hail Mary successfully last week, but it wasn't from 78 yards out.
Well, handing it to Harrison is kind of a Hail Mary in itself. He's a threat to go the distance anytime. 8 times over 100 yards in the first half. You might want to jump on him if you're a defense.
They'll give it to Harrison again. And once again, he's yardage past the 30 out to the 33. That will be the final play of the first half. But Jerome Harrison already with 111 yards, 122 yards rushing, excuse me, 122 on 18 first half carries. Well, Alex Brink with a fine first half. He threw for 140, but got another 122 from that man. Jerome Harrison, who leads the nation in rushing and now has over 1,800 yards on the season. Cougars at the half lead the 98th meeting between Washington and Washington State, 13-7, right by the Lake Washington. Boats coming up, fans coming in.
Who stole my boat?
It's the little one.
Somebody's on my boat there.
DeMarco's dinghy out there somewhere. Let's go down on the sideline with Karen Bildoba.
Coach, it's a slim lead. What's the key to hanging on to it in the second half?
I just think no turnovers, play smart football, and a little bit more ball control. Keep Isaiah Stanback off the field.
All right, thank you, Coach. Pressure was the key for the defense in the first half, Steve. They're going to keep it coming in the second.
Kara, he mentioned ball control. Washington State had it for 19 minutes and 14 seconds. It's halftime here in Seattle where the score is 13-7 Cougars. Right now it's time to get you all caught up with everything that's happened today in college football. So let's send you to the College Football Studio Saturday halftime report.
Halftime in the Apple Cup, Civil War to follow. It's FSN Live Rivalry Day. Brian Davis along with Sonny Six Killer and Mark Rippon, the Cougars with the lead at the break. But Rip, you've seen this movie before.
7 of the last 8 times the Cougars been in familiar territory, ahead at halftime. We'll see if history repeats itself.
Now, there was an interesting stretch fairly early in this ball game, Sonny, but since then things have kind of bogged down.
Well, they really have. You know, they're kind of like a sparring, the old boxer kind of deal. They're sparring out there. Nothing's really going on. Nobody wants to make a mistake.
But this game is still very much within the reach of the Huskies, and the Cougars can still control it. Now, we've got for you Civil War preview coming up. We'll break down this game. FSN Live Rivalry Day presented by your Northwest Chevy dealers. Back in a moment to Husky Stadium. Cougars by 6 on a hazy, chilly Saturday afternoon on the Montlake Cut, but at least it is not raining, and at this time of year, it could be raining sideways. Welcome back on FSN Live. It's Rivalry Day with Sonny Six Killer and Mark Rippon. I'm Brian Davis. 147 total yards for the University of Washington in the first half, Rip. The Cougars defense has got to be pleased.
Oh, I think definitely has to be pleased. They're a much maligned group. I think last in about every statistical category there is in the Pac-10. And yet, if it wasn't for the one big play, they'd basically have shut the University of Washington out this first half.
The flea flicker play from Kenny James to Sonny Shackelford is what got the Huskies into the house.
That's about it, yep.
All right, now you take a look at the Huskies side of the equation. 4 quarterback sacks stands out in the first half.
Well, if not for that pressure, Brian, with the way that offense is playing, we're in the ballgame. 13-7 right now. And, Rip is right. Their defense is really doing a job on those Huskies.
One of the things that the Huskies want to try to do is sustain something. Too many 3-and-outs in the first half.
Well, no question about it. You go off what they did last week when you have a 200-yard rusher and not have that today. That means the defense on the other team is really doing their part.
Cougars trying to make a little bit of magic wearing the script Cougar helmet for the first time this season. We come back. We've got plenty more. We'll talk Sonics basketball with Craig Elo and Lenny Wilkins. Also, we'll take you to the Civil War. Brad Adams, Steve Priest, and Danny O'Neill standing by. FSN Live Rivalry Day.
Halftime at Husky Stadium in Seattle, Washington. The Cougars from the eastern part of the state leading the Huskies from the western side of the state 13-7. Steve Physiak along with DeMarco Farr. DeMarco, time of possession. Bill Doba talked about ball control. Cougars have added 19.5 minutes to the Huskies 10.5.
We talked about it in our keys to the game. The Huskies are going to have to establish the run game to take some time off this clock and keep the Washington State Cougars off the field. You see the rushing yards, 126-36. Jerome Harrison really doing the job. 9 times over 100 yards. Got another one today by the first half. You see 36 yards by the Huskies. James Sims not finding enough room, and it's been about finishing plays for the Cougars. They had 2 big missed opportunities to score points. They didn't do it. They came away with field goals. That's been the story of this game so far.
266 yards total offense. Alex Brink with a fine first half. He was 10 for 17 for 140 yards and a touchdown, and on the first possession completed and converted 2 big 3rd and long plays, including one to Greg Prater for the touchdown. So now the Cougars will get it first in the second half after they lost the coin toss, and Husky said they wanted it to open the game. Well, the Cougars will have excellent field position out near the midfield. And Jerome Harrison having a terrific first half. He needs 44 yards to move into 7th place all-time Pac-10 single-season rushing. Impressive company. And Harrison, what a season and what a last 2 years he has had for Washington State. Now 122 yards on 18 carries for number 1, Jerome Harrison. Brink will go away from him, look downfield, and he was hitting the backside as he was trying to throw it to the sideline, and Trandon Harvey, who was wide open.
Grayson Gunheim coming around the corner again. Coming from his right defensive end spot. He switches sides. Watch him go up the field, little head fake, comes around the corner, does a great job with his hands coming underneath, getting pressure on Brink. That's what you're going to have to do if you're the Huskies. If you rush 4, you got to get there. It's on the big guys up front right now.
Jerome Harrison going to the right, breaking free, past the 40, inside Husky territory at the 35-yard line.
We talked about patience. We talked about his ability to set up blocks. He kind of trots along on the pitch, and watch the blocking. Watch it develop. You see it, the toss. Now watch his blockers. Here they come. He's just trotting along, waiting. As soon as he sees the block is picked up, he takes off running. I mean, that's what you want in a running back right there. He's an exciting guy to watch run the football.
He came in leading the nation and rushing this year, 5 yards per game, up on D'Angelo Williams. And Jerome Harrison now with over 1,800 yards on the season and 142 in the game, now on 20 carries.
Well, they talked about him. The Washington State Cougars offensive coaching staff said at the beginning of his career at Washington State, they tried to speed him up. They wanted him to hit the hole faster. Eventually, they saw the genius in his work. They said, hey, Jerome, you do what you do. Find the holes and break through them. He's really been their guy all season.
3 wide left, 2nd down 11. Harrison. That time the defense read it beautifully, and Evan Benjamin was there. So was Donnie Mariaki. The first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% every day. It's all about the O. And for Washington, it's all about stopping the O. The offense of the Cougars. Third down 10. From the four-man rush, no blitz. Brink throws, completes the pass to Cody Boyd. He needed to get to the 25-yard line for a first down. He'll come up a yard shy. So decision time here for Bill Doba. And he is right now sending in the field goal unit to try and give his team extend the lead to 9.
Well, it's a game of adjustments. The first quarter, you saw the Cougars going after the Husky corners. They bring the safeties over the help, which leaves the tight end wide open. So Cody Boyd getting a lot of work.
He is 13 for 19. This field goal attempt will come from 40. He hit one from 48 earlier. He's from 43 yards out. Langley has it up long enough, and Lauren has it a little bit wide. So the lead remains just 6 for the Cougars. College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera, the new value frontier, and brought to you in part by Fellows, the world's toughest shredders, and by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And the first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O. Washington has one of the best crew teams in the nation. We're right on Lake Washington where they practice. And here is Isaiah Stanback. And he will go deep downfield, and a wide open Russo, who twice has been wide open. And that would have given the Huskies the lead as Stanback overthrew. But a penalty flag is down. It will be holding against the offense.
Holding, number 88 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Hold by the tight end, Robert Lewis.
Coming around the corner. Anytime you ask a tight end to block a defensive end or a linebacker, this is what you run the risk of. They're pass catchers. Robert Lewis, not the biggest of guys. Feisty, will do the job for you, but sometimes will get caught with his hand in the cookie jar or around the jersey and get called for holding.
5th penalty to the Cougars, 1. So now it is again a first down, and they try James Sims. It's one of his rare runs for positive yardage. He's coming off a 200-yard rushing performance against Arizona. Only had 6 yards on 6 carries in the first half, and he gains about 4 on this play.
Yeah, not a lot of room for him to run. The Cougar defensive line doing a great job of constricting those holes, taking up bodies, allowing those middle linebackers to get in there and get shots on Sims.
And Sims and Stanback, we were told those were the two who had to make plays, so it's Isaiah's turn. He will look downfield and complete the pass to Russo. Shy of the first down. They need to get to the 36-yard line in their own territory.
We talked about this earlier, the marquee matchup in Cristo Bruce going against Joe Toledo. Toledo, the best offensive lineman Washington has to offer, does a great job against the Pac-10 second leading sacker, keeps him away from his quarterback. Anytime you can stonewall their best pass rusher, gives you nothing but confidence. It helps your offense, it helps your quarterback.
Well, you knew that Toledo was a good athlete. He played tight end the last few years, offensive lineman, and perhaps NFL bound next year. Stanback, he needs 7 for the first down. It is dropped right in the hands of Russo, and Washington is 3 and out. 4 and out if you include that penalty.
Another missed opportunity coming on the screen. You see Coach Willingham not happy with it. Had a shot. It was a great call. Just couldn't bring it in. That's one you need if you're the Huskies. You have to sustain drives. Now you're going to put the offense, the Cougar offense, back on the field with a lead, and you have to say they're going to run Harrison until you stop him.
Well, Tyrone Willingham trying to change the culture of this Washington program. He wants them to be mentally tougher, their attention to detail perfect, develop an attitude of the Huskies. And he wants it to be perfection. Here's a fumble on the play, and the Huskies may have it. Let's see. Yes, they do. This might be the break the Huskies were looking for after a 3-and-out.
When you make a mistake, you give the other team life. You can hear Husky Stadium coming to life right now. Short punt, has a chance to return it. Maybe took his eyes off the football for a half a second, bounced off his chest. And the Huskies, Johnny on the spot, watch, puts his head down just for a half second, goes right through his arms, right into the hands of J.R. Wolfwolf, who actually missed the play on the kick return, allowed the Cougars to get out to great field position, makes amends, makes the recovery for the Huskies.
Cougars without one of the best punt return men in the country, Michael Bumpus, who is injured. And Sims gets the call on the carry, but this is a situation after the turnover. The Huskies have to come up with points.
Yeah, you have to right now. The momentum's on your side. You got great field position. You may not be on this end of the field again, so you have to take advantage of it.
DeMarco, are you surprised that Tyrone Willingham has not run more option with standback?
Very surprised. I'm very surprised. He told us they were going to run more option. I think you'd see it down here in the red zone with standback closer to the end zone.
Well, Sims with 11 yards at 8 carries. 189 fewer than he had last week against Arizona. This time he tries to make the play on his own, but read well by the Cougar defense. They have really, you call it gap integrity. They've shown it with standback.
Lane integrity. Well, we talked about running the option. Well, every pass play they call is basically a run-pass option for standback. He has the opportunity to pull it down right here. He can either throw it out to the slot receiver or pull it down just like he does and try to make a play. Sometimes he tries to run a little too much. Other times he may overthrow. So it's a balance thing with standback. It's going to have to be money right now.
Washington State showing blitz, and here they come. Standback tries to pick it up, dumps it left side. Oh, Shackelford cannot hold on at the 25. Would have been a first down. Good coverage from Eric Frampton, the strong safety.
Great job by the Cougar defense stepping in after a turnover. The thought process of any defensive player is, after a turnover, limit the damage, hold them to a field goal. Here they come on the blitz. They pick it up well. Standback gets it out on time. Now watch Frampton right there. Gets his hand in at the last second and bats it down. Shackelford actually had 2 chances at it. Frampton, the Cougars' leading tackler, does a great job in pass coverage.
And on 4th and 7, Tyrone Willingham had them going for it. They may have to take a timeout here, because they were spending, and they will take a timeout. A timeout comes here in the 3rd quarter. 9:23 left. Cougars 13, Huskies 7. There's a buzz here at Husky Stadium as Tyrone Willingham will go for it on 4th and 7 from the 32-yard line of Washington State.
Look for something to get on the corner here. Get standback on the move.
He has them all spread out. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Standback fires and completes the pass for a first down at the 22-yard line. Oh, the guts of Tyrone Willingham. I love it when the coaches make plays like that. They take chances on 4th down. You had a long field goal or this.
Well, we talked about it. After a timeout, after you burn a timeout, you're going to have to go for it now. Does a great job. And let me tell you, Juice Standback has a great arm. He can get it there in a hurry. One-on-one, he can come inside or outside.
That was his nickname growing up. Zeus.
I like that. Zeus Standback.
What an athlete, though. Tyrone Willingham really believes in Isaiah Standback, who will come back next year as a senior. They have a terrific freshman coming in, Jake Locker from Ferndale High School, and he's in the playoffs.
That's a good name for a football player. Locker. Yeah. Locker, or do they have a guy named Smash Mouth? I'm sure there's one out there somewhere. Here's the play that's under review. Guns it out. Looks like he has it.
Both feet in.
Both feet in.
Unless he was juggling it. But it has to be not even debatable. Clear. So we will see. Right now it is a first down after Tyrone Willingham made the decision to go for it on 4th down and 7. Standback. A lot of people feel that he might be the most improved player in the Pac-10 Conference from where he was a year ago. Last year, he came off the bench in the Apple Cup and led the Huskies to a late rally. They fell by 3, 28-25.
Really played solid all season. Played well versus USC. Played well versus Arizona State. Played well versus Cal. Had some turnovers, but with the dual threat that he is, sometimes he'll put it on the ground.
And the officials have just said that Williams was indeed inbound, so it is a first down for the Huskies at the Cougars' 22-yard line. Washington State has only once in the last 20 years come away with a victory at Husky Stadium, a 41-35 win in the 1997 game that clinched a trip to the Rose Bowl for the Cougars. Now they're trying to keep the Huskies out of the end zone. They run left. Nothing. Well, they stretched it out beautifully with Scott Davis over there, Will Durding and Christo Bruce in the same territory.
Scott Davis doing a heck of a job. Takes on 2 blockers and actually eats up the fullback as well. 2 blockers, and he beats them both and gets to Sims. That's the kind of effort you need in the red zone if you're the Cougar defense. You need guys that will go that extra mile and not trade 1 for 1.
So Sims with just 11 yards on 9 carries. Stanback has been forced into a lot of second and long. Durding showing blitz. Here he comes. So does Davis. Stanback throws behind and only at his offensive lineman, and there is a flag down. And I just wonder if it's because there wasn't a receiver in the area.
That looked like the old tackle eligible play. They run this before to Joe Toledo. Remember, he's a former tight end. There he is. He blocks, he blocks, he blocks. And then he tries to slip out. Tries to slip out. The Cougars think they have him. Just too much pressure for Stanback to get it over the head of the rush, to get it to Joe Toledo.
Doesn't Toledo have to have a different jersey on? Can he go with 67?
If you come in and you identify with the referee and say, hey, I'm going to play tight end on this play, but that sometimes gives it away to the defense. So you have these plays. It's a trick play. It almost worked for the Huskies, but you have to say that's 1 for the Cougars.
And that is the 7th penalty, excuse me, on Washington in this afternoon's game. So Shackelford and Russo go to the right side on 2nd down and 15 yards to go. Stanback escapes, cuts inside. This is his great ability. He's inside the 20, near the 15, when he could have lost 5.
Just a dynamic play. When I see quarterbacks do this, McNabb, Vick, I always say they should have to dribble if they run like this. But watch this. Watch the play breakdown. Here comes Dirty. He eludes him, cuts back. And Christo Bruce shakes him, misses another tackle, makes another guy miss, and gets up the football field. With a guy like Stanback, when he pulls that ball down, he's one of the better running backs in the country.
Huskies in the red zone, not that great. 33 opportunities, 17 touchdowns, 33 into the air. Touchdown, Washington! Craig Chambers!
Going against the smaller corner, Alex Teams, 6'3", Craig Chambers, maybe got away with a little push-off or a pull-down, a la Michael Irvin. Watch this, Stanback throws it up right now. He knows what he wants. Alex Teams just misplays the ball. That's what you call a fade stop by the receiver. Great catch, great throw, excellent play call.
So the Huskies have a chance of taking their first lead of the game on the extra point by Evan Knutson. It is up and dead solid, perfect. And Washington has gone up 1 on the Cougars in the Apple Cup. Stanback, Chambers, 14-13 Huskies.
FSN Live Rivalry Day presented by your Northwest Chevy dealers. Mark Rippon, special teams mistakes hurting the Cougars.
When things are going well, Brian, you find a way to win. When they're not, you find a way to lose. Special teams is one of those ways.
The Huskies have been out of rhythm today, but in a game like this, Sunday Six Killer, all you need is a break or two, big play.
Well, you got to take it in for a score. You can get the breaks, Brian, but you got to score, and the Huskies finally pulled one off.
Well, we got a barn burner here in the Apple Cup. Back upstairs, Steve Fiziak, DeMarco Farr with Kara.
Craig Chambers with his 6th touchdown catch of the year on a 3rd down and 3, but you have to go back to the decision made by Tyrone Willingham on 4th down and 7 going for it, and the Huskies go 35 yards and 7 plays after the fumble. But they went for it on 4th and 7, got the 1st down on Stanback's toss to Corey Williams. Now the kickoff. Here's the number 3, and he will take it. And he escapes one man past the 20 and out of bounds near the 21-yard line.
Looked like he might have pulled up there.
Yeah.
On the return. May have fooled the Huskies. They didn't know what was happening. It's always tough when you see the guy with the football and he's obviously in pain. You don't want to drill a guy who's hurting. You know, your humanity steps in, but you got to do what you have to do. Receives the ball well. Looks like he just takes a step and immediately goes and starts to limp.
Jordan in motion. They run Harrison to the left. Flag is down. Harrison only gains 1 yard.
Anytime you see the laundry anywhere near the line of scrimmage, you got to say it's holding. And with the zone blocking that the Cougars are using, trying to free up Harrison on the corner, and with the way the Huskies defensive line slant charges and strong to weak, eventually somebody's going to pull somebody down, and it happened there.
So Alex Brink, the quarterback for Washington State, will be pushed back inside the 15-yard line. Brink has had a solid game, throwing for 149 yards and 1 touchdown, and he led the Cougars to that 3-point win last year, throwing for 240 yards and 2 scores.
Now if you're the Huskies right now, you're in the shadow, or the Cougars are in the shadow of your goal line. You may think blitz here. So if you're the Cougars, you might try something real short, maybe a draw play or a screen out to the flat, trying to take advantage of a one-on-one. There's his son over here. How about that? Came out late. That's the warm end of the field.
First down, 20 yards to go. Brink trying to throw the screen, throws it out to Harrison. Harrison slipped by 1 and gets it back to the 20-yard line, where he is completely tied up by Goldson and company. Let's send you to our College Football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Fizz, number 5 Penn State, well on their way to securing a Big Ten title and a berth in the BCS. After a block punt for a touchdown, made it 10-0. Michael Robinson here splits a couple of would-be tacklers, goes 33 yards for the score. After 2 straight losing seasons, Penn State's on its way to being 10-1.
The number 5 team in the nation, and Joe Pod getting it done. They swing it out to Harrison again. He is to the 25. They'll still need about 7, maybe 8 more yards, considering where the mark is for a first down. So a big defense and offensive play for both sides.
2 straight screens by the Cougars. You have to think the Huskies are coming with the blitz. The Cougars are thinking the same thing. They try to get it out to Harrison real quick on the perimeter, try to take advantage of the flat coverage by the Huskies. So far doing a great job of getting Harrison on the ground before he has a chance to do real damage.
Brink has his favorite target, Hill, out to the left side, single coverage. He's gone his way when he's needed big plays. Brink changing the play, maybe noticing Hill in single coverage. Now the safety rolls over that way, so he swings it back to the right side, and Harvey drops the ball. It's incomplete. It would not have been a first down anyway.
Great blitz by the Dogs, getting there. Not every blitz is designed to get a sack. It's designed to control the quarterback and make him throw it where you want. You see Benjamin coming off the corner. He's got to get rid of it right now. And there's a cornerback playing the sticks, which means he has his heels on the first down yard marker, keep everything in front. Great job by the Huskies getting them out.
Shackelford standing at his 35, awaiting the punt from Kyle Bosler. Bosler, end over the end. Shackelford with a chance to return, fumbles the ball. Cougars get it. Brian Hall comes up with it. A Husky mistake, now giving Washington State a chance to reclaim the lead.
2 miscues in special teams. Bobbles it. Gets their hand in on it. Jumps on the football. You see Shaq, he brings it in, and then somebody gets their hand on the football. We can't see it. He flew by too fast. And there's Big Hall getting his hands on the football, recovering it for the Cougars. You have to say the Cougars have to take advantage of the field position.
Well, let's see if they go back to Harrison. He has 173 of Washington State's 308 yards total offense, but the Huskies defense has picked it up here in the second half, and obviously some great adjustments by Kent Baer, their defensive coordinator.
There's Grayson Gunheim again showing up, making plays, and you got to say it's the D-line for the Huskies that must step up, must make plays, and if you're the Cougars, get it in the hands of your playmakers, get it out to Jason Hill.
2nd and 11. Brink going for the home run, and it's broken up by Matt Fontaine.
Matthew Fontaine coming up with the big play, locked one-on-one with Jason Hill.
Did you just get a phone call from his brother?
He's in the stands.
Hey, well, the first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% every day. It's all about the O.
Matthew Fontaine, the brother of Jamal Fontaine, one of my esteemed teammates from the glory years, if you will, from the Huskies, in the stands today.
91 national championship year.
I remember this kid when he was 8 years old, stealing my gloves out of my locker. Now he's out there playing.
Hey, he's got them on too.
There they are.
Hill to the left. Harvey in the slot. 3rd down and 11. They run Harrison to the right side. He gets the 30. So they are within field goal range for Langley. It will be a long field goal, but it could reclaim the lead for the Cougars. They'll need 3 yards for the first down. It's 4th and 3. Doba could still go for it. He has not sent Langley out to the field. It would be a field goal of about 47 yards. He's missed one already from 40 and one from 51. So Doba saying, hey, he's 50%. We've got a 50% chance of making it. They gave him a great mark. Instead of 4th and 2, it's 4th and 1.
Watch the sneak.
Harrison. Ooh, they will probably have to measure this one. They needed to get to the 27-yard line for a first down, and Harrison's lean. They will have to measure here.
On 4th and 1, that time Harrison can't be patient. He must attack the line of scrimmage. The Cougars doing a great job of getting some separation, creating a little seam and trying to get upfield. Huskies doing the job. C.J. Wallace coming in, dropping a shoulder. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
First down, Washington State. Well, the Huskies were rewarded with a touchdown going for it on 4th and 7. Now let's see if Bill Doba's rewarded for it. A lot of Cougar fans coming over the mountains from the Palouse. Bill Doba, who spent 14 years as the assistant coach, the defensive coordinator, many of those years for Mike Price. And the Cougars had their glory years going to the Rose Bowl. They had 3 straight 10-win seasons. Harrison skips through to the 20-yard line. Gain of 7. Now 159 yards rushing by the nation's leader.
The Cougar offensive line doing a great job knocking a hole in the Husky defense. Bobby Bird, Sean O'Connor creating a hole. There's Big Sean getting his block, gets a pancake. You can't see it. To the top right of your screen. They're doing a great job. The only guy that's made a play is Grayson Gunheim from that defensive line.
Second down, 3. Harrison again. Finds a hole. First down. He will score the touchdown.
Genius, the brilliance of Jerome Harrison. This is why he leads the nation in rushing. So patient, so explosive. Can make any play a scoring play by making one guy miss.
Well, he just moved into 7th place all-time Pac-10 single-season rushing, passing Corey Dillon, that great Washington Husky, who is a world champion for the New England Patriots. Now 1,709 yards rushing. Beautiful run. The patience waiting for the blocks. And he is so elusive. Even Bill Doba said, we knew he was good. We didn't know he was this good.
You see him making people miss inside, outside. And this is the Apple Cup. Don't expect many taunting penalties or personal fouls.
Well, they've got a 5-point lead. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 to make it 7. So Bill Doba taking a chance on 4th and 1, going for it, and it was a long 4th and 1, and getting a first down by inches. And he is rewarded with a touchdown by Jerome Harrison, who now has 179 yards rushing in this game on just 26 carries. Tyrone Willingham, he's going to need Isaiah Stanback to do it again, who led his team down for a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Let's go down on the sideline to Kara Capuano.
Well, guys, we keep talking about the brilliance of Harrison, but he's the first guy to credit the offensive line in front of him. Before the UCLA game, he bought them a cake and put cards in their lockers, and by the way, went out and put up his season-best 260 yards and a pair of touches. So he knows it's a shared effort. Steve?
Kara, they're going for 2. Brink rolling to his right. Firing, incomplete. So the lead is just 5 for the Cougars. With 2:53 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Tyrone Willingham's Huskies down 19-14.
You've heard the cliche, you got to have a short memory. Now, Harrison just put the Cougars back on top, but you have to come out and play the 2-point conversion. They try to get Brink on the corner and hit Jason Hill. The Huskies flood the zone, make him have to put too much air under it. Big miss on the conversion.
2 gutsy calls by the coaches, going for it on 4th down and coming up with a first down and getting the touchdowns.
It's tough for a defense. I mean, they say you have to have a short memory, 1 snap and clear, but if you're the guy that missed a tackle that allows him to get in the end zone, that's what you're thinking about. But you have to come right back, put it behind you, and play the next snap.
Well, it's just another Cougar close game. They quite easily could be heading to a bowl game. But the Washington State Cougars have been held back in so many late game losses this year. Let's send you to our College Football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Fizz, history in college football's oldest rivalry. For the first time in the 102 meetings between Harvard and Yale, we go to overtime. And in the 3rd overtime, the Crimson win it 30-24 on the touchdown there. Meanwhile, Notre Dame cruising over Syracuse at home 27-3. Brady Quinn, another fine performance. He may get himself invited to New York City for the Heisman.
And who was he recruited by? How about Tyrone Willingham? Well, here's Washington coming right back and getting a first down up near the 45-yard line as Stanback hit Robert Lewis. He's been on target the last 2 drives.
Big Robert Lewis, the tight end. The Huskies have a pretty good tight end tradition. Robert Lewis, the sophomore, will grow into that position, does a great job of getting open. He's a big target at 6'5", and you said it, Stanback has been on the money, but a receiver that's 6'5", he just kind of lay it in there. Watch, on the play fake, holds the safety, holds the linebacker. He's able to throw it over the top into the arms of Lewis, who does a great job of fighting for extra yards. Talk about the tight ends. You got Ernie Conwell still playing, Mark Bruner. A bunch of guys coming through here as Husky tight ends. I remember when Mark Bruner was a true freshman. Came out and he ran over Steve Ettman.
Steve Ettman, the greatest defensive football player you have ever seen.
Ran him right over. I hope Steve didn't hear that.
Well, here's that 4th and 7 play. Stanback firing a strike on 4th and 7 to Corey Williams, and they come up with the touchdown. And a 4th and 1 for Washington State. Harrison for the yard needed. First down, and Doba also rewarded with a touchdown. Now from the 45, 1st and 10. Stanback will throw. Here's Sims wide open right side, gets it to him at midfield. First down to the 45, now to the 41 in Washington State territory.
A little bit of confusion right now by the Cougar defensive line. A couple of 2 or 3 guys in the same gap. He's trying to rush. You see him, Christo Bruce coming in. They stalemate each other. Stanback does a great job of splitting the other side. Dumps it off to Sims, who's just waiting for the football. Huskies moving the ball.
And Stanback making the plays. They said it was Stanback and Sims who had to come up with big plays. Sims comes up with one, but Isaiah Knob, 125 yards passing, 143 yards rushing. Where's he going on this one? Well, Frampton with a nice tackle on the play.
It looked like he wanted to pump and go out to the corner, but the receiver forgot the go part. Stanback's waiting. Can't wait versus a good rush like the Cougars, and now it's Stanback time. He tries to make it happen, and athletic ability out of a quarterback. Tough kid, Stanback.
Frampton leads the team in tackles, coming in with 80. Sims the lone setback. Stanback again in trouble and cut down from behind. It'll be 3rd and long. Scott Davis, the 5'11", 228-pound junior from Kennewick, Washington, on the tackle.
Let me tell you something. Scott Davis saves the touchdown here. They came on the blitz. There's Will Dirty going by you. There's nobody in front of Isaiah Stanback. If he can break this tackle, he's still running.
Well, it's 3rd down and 11. Chambers, who scored the touchdown, goes wide to the right. Shackelford, who scored the first touchdown, wide to the left. Stanback looking over the middle for Shackelford. Now that goes down the middle. First down at the 25-yard line. Cody Ellis.
Isaiah Stanback having all kinds of time. The offensive line for the Huskies really stepping up, doing the job. You watch Will Dirty coming on the blitz. Now he's got a knee injury. You got to think on this AstroTurf with the knee brace, he's going to be a bit sore, not getting the pressure. Stanback is able to stand back there, pick his spots, finds the open man, gets the first down.
15 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter from the 20. Sims, first big hole he's had in a while, and he's inside the 10-yard line. His biggest run of the day.
Well, there was just no one home for the Cougars on the right side of their defensive line. They come with the blitz over here. There's no one home to stop Sims. It's an easy cut. He picks up big yardage.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. James Sims has Washington 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. When we come back, 15 minutes left in the Apple Cup here in Seattle. Two of the top Cougar fans enjoying this game and this Nissan summary. Harrison with 179 yards rushing, the national leader in rushing this year. Shackelford 3 catches, 100 yards. Washington State dominating possession, but the Huskies can take the lead. They have a first and goal at the 5-yard line, running the I formation. Stanback to throw. Now he scrambles, in trouble, and he dances and is out of bounds near the 3-yard line. And Christo Smith, or Bruce, had a shot at him. Stanback escaped that and gains 2 to the 3-yard line.
The Cougars doing a good job of jumping on his first read, taking away the tight end, the flare route, and this is where Stanback comes in. This is his brilliance again. This play has no business working, but he's just so fast. He beats contain, gets positive yards, gets something out of nothing.
Second and goal. Polite is the fullback. They give it to Sims. Big hole. He is there. Touchdown, Washington.
We talked about Coach Tyrone Willingham's philosophy. He thinks that a football team should be able to play a month more, a month longer. It looks like the Huskies right now in better condition than the Cougars. The defensive line of the Cougars kind of get that body language like they're tired, hands on the hips. They're getting pushed around right now. Sims doing a great job keeping his feet moving, getting it in the end zone.
Great drive, 80 yards in 8 plays. One of the things Tyrone Willingham wanted to do is develop leadership here at Washington. Now leading by 1. He has told his team they want to go for 2 points here for a lead that would make Washington State kick a field goal to tie them. But Tyrone Willingham, we asked him, how do you develop leadership? And he says, well, one of the things we did, we went over to the Human Resources Department, went to the business school. We had some of their professors come in and speak to the kids because those are the real leaders in the professional world. So he was going with everybody, and we've seen great leadership by Stanback here in the second half.
Watch the push by the offensive line. You see them come around. They ran the power play, and it's sort of a power dive. Sims taking it right up the middle, and they just try to push the nose tackle. They double the nose tackle, get movement. It's not about breaking the long one. It's just about getting into the end zone. Huskies doing a great job of really bearing down in the second half, coming back after some missed opportunities and a couple of miscues in special teams, and taking the lead in the fourth quarter.
Sims now with 29 yards on 11 carries. That's after a 200-yard effort last week. Meantime, Stanback picking up his game, 44 yards rushing, and he has also thrown for 142 passing.
Watch this, double team the nose tackle, take him right in the end zone, chip off on the linebacker, come around. They had a shot at it. Big defensive lineman had his hands on Sims, but they're taught to run through arm tackles.
Well,
excellent
with the
play.
2-point conversion, will they go for the option now?
I look for the same exact play Washington State just run. There it is.
They roll to the right. He flips it. Russo has the 2. And Washington goes up 3 on the Cougars. Stanback to Russo. And the Huskies lead in the fourth quarter over the Cougars in Seattle. Isaiah Stanback just off the phone with offensive coordinator Tim Lupano. He's had a terrific second half, and here rolling and giving the ball to James Sims, and then moving to his right for the 2-point conversion to Anthony Russo to give the Huskies a 3-point lead in the fourth quarter. Now it's the Cougars' turn. Washington State needs to win to avoid their first 0-8 conference record since 1998, and the team finished 3-8. Huskies trying to make it 2 wins in a row before they move to the offseason. They beat Arizona last week, and they are winning this afternoon 22-19. A triple header today on Fox Sports Net in the Pac-10. Next, Oregon, Oregon State, and then Fresno State at the #1 team in the nation, the University of Southern California Trojans. Well, they had Harrison back deep. Let's now send it to our College Football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Well, Fizz, speaking of 1988, for the first time since 1988, the Tennessee Volunteers are not bowl eligible. They finished the year 4-6. They lose to Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt beats Tennessee for the first time since Billy Ray Smith's senior year of 1982.
Billy Ray.
I thought Tennessee would go bowling this year. I thought they'd have 7-8 wins this time of year. Here we go. Brink with a blitz on, and Alex has to throw it away. Washington really getting after it, and the guy who's been leading them is Grayson Gunheim, the true sophomore.
Really doing the job. 6'4", 245 pounds. You watch him. They leave him on the receiver. The deception is supposed to stop him. He doesn't buy it. He goes right to the quarterback like he's taught to do. Randy Hart, the great defensive line coach from Washington, has been here through 5 head coaches. They keep him around. He's a great coach. Shows up in Grayson Gunheim.
Only 22 yards throwing in the second half for Alex Brink. Harrison, big hole left side. And he will get the first down. An excellent run by Jerome Harrison, who now has 190 yards rushing.
Excellent cutback, great blocking. Watch the offensive line. They all block down, block down. It's just a big cutback lane for Harrison. It's going to be tough for any defender to stop Harrison when he's got that much room. You can't allow a running back of his caliber that much space, or he's going to hurt you.
191 on 27 carries, his season and career best. He had a 260-yard game against UCLA. But that was also a game that Washington State led by 21 points, only to lose in overtime. Harvey for the first down, and he's out of bounds near midfield.
Excellent block on the corner. Great block on the screen. It's imperative to get the first guy down so the inside defender doesn't have a shot at the screener. Right here, watch the block right here. He's already on the ground. Now, C.J. Wallace has got to come over to make the play. And let me tell you, that's a long way to run for any safety trying to catch a receiver out in the flat.
So it's Harrison and Brink leading the way, and now Jerome short side of the field, and he is banged down in a tough play by number 27, Evan Benjamin, that outside linebacker. Well, he's all about Washington. His sister Paige was an All-American volleyball player at Washington. His dad was a running back for the Seahawks.
He's got athlete in the blood.
I just like the way he hits, and you know what Tyrone Willingham was saying? I just wish we had him one more year. Blitz on again, coming from the outside. Brink steps up. He will run, but there's a flag down. And this one might be coming back. It could be holding because it appeared that a Husky had an angle and was being held up. No, it's a face mask. Apparently the officials didn't see the hold, but they did see a face mask, and it will go against Washington. First down.
Personal foul, face mask, number 91 defense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
It's just a natural progression. You're rushing against a bigger guy. Donnie Matiki going up against Bobby Bird. Trying to get some pass rush, trying to get some pressure. Your hand slips up in, and it just so happens the ref sees you, and it's a big penalty. You can get your hand in the face mask, but they always tell you got to get it down quick. Looks like Donnie just held on too long and maybe slammed Bird on the ground with it. You have to make that call.
And that is the 7th penalty against the Washington Huskies for 70 yards. Only 2 penalties for Washington State. Cougars first down, 24-yard line in Husky territory. Harrison on the draw. Not much, maybe 3 yards to the 21.
Trying to spread the Huskies out. Hit Jerome Harrison up the middle, one-on-one with the linebacker. The nose tackle does a great job of coming off his block, getting in the way of Harrison and giving his guys time to come in and make the play. Boy, this is a Harrison opportunity. Harrison side of the field here. Look for the Cougars to spread you out and try to attack the middle of the Husky defense.
Play action. Brink with time. First down, Trandon Harvey, 10-yard line, then a fumble. But was he down first? I believe he was, and they are ruling him down at the 10-yard line. So Brink picking it up a bit more, as he now has 180 yards passing in the game.
Great job by the Cougar offense on the play call. They're trying to make one guy play both, play run and pass, and you can't do both. Against the Cougars, you have to step up in run support versus Harrison, and then you let your pass coverage slip right by you, right to the middle of the football field.
Well, they're spreading it out again, but are they spreading it out for freedom for Jerome Harrison to run the ball? They give it to Jerome, and he is stuck right at the line of scrimmage. Chris Stevens, a backup outside linebacker, came in, who's a true freshman from Mojave, California. And no gain for Jerome Harrison, so he stays at 192 yards rushing on 30 carries.
Well, if you're Chris Stevens, you framed that shot. You just took down the NCAA leader in rushing by yourself. That's one you write home about.
They'll keep the tight end in this time, also have a wing to the right side. Brink looking left, throwing left, into coverage, incomplete. He saw it was well covered, just threw it away. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. I mean, you at least want the field goal for the tie. Brink still has one more chance for the 6.
Yeah, you've got a couple of points if you're the Cougars here. In the Huskies defensive line, Chris Stevens has lined up at defensive end and left end.
Langley, meantime, 2 for 4. He's made 2 from 22 and 48, but missed 2 also. Both were beyond 40 yards out.
There's Chris Stevens.
Crowd picking up here at Husky Stadium. Incomplete. Harvey broke free at the last moment, but there was great coverage earlier by Deshaun Goldson, the free safety.
And it looked to me like Brink had a shot on the slant. He just put a little too much air under it. You see him shaking his head, said, yeah, that's one I should have got right here. Watch the inside move, fakes like he's coming inside, good physical move. Thought he had a shot, just overthrows it.
Goldson, though, looked like he was coming in from the free safety spot, and he might have seen that as well. Right now, Langley from 27 yards out for the tie. No good! Lauren Langley, one of the top kickers in the Pac-10, misses from 27.
You're watching FSN, where Northwest fans come first.
Lauren Langley can't be hanging his head for long because he may have an opportunity later in this game to win it. But this from 27, very poorly struck. Middle of the ball rather than underneath, and just hooks it off to the left side. And Washington holds on to their 22-19 lead over Washington State. 98th meeting between the Huskies and Cougars. Huskies with 63 wins, Cougars 28, 6 ties. Here's James Sims. He's been much better in the second half. Past the 30, first down to the 38-yard line. Well, it's time for our trivia question here at Husky Stadium in Seattle, Washington. The question is the longest Cougar win streak in the 97-game series. James Sims all of a sudden beginning to break out. He only had 6 yards in the first half, has 41 in the second half. Stand back to throw. Plenty of time. Wings it out deep. Incomplete. Chambers well covered. Terrific coverage by Alex Teams, senior from San Pedro, California.
Pretty good protection by the Husky offensive line. The Cougars right now, Big Rapati, Pito Itua in the game, probably their best defensive lineman, got hurt on the last snap of contact drills coming out of fall practice. Big number 75, 6'8", 299 pounds. There he is right there, the big giant in the middle. They put him in just to push the pocket.
Sims again with room to run. And then it closes up. He'll gain about 3 yards. And James down on the ground and slow in getting up. Again, that trivia question about the longest Cougar win streak in the 97-game series. They won last year. That's the Aflac trivia question. We'll give you the answer later in this fourth quarter.
Ooh. Can I answer?
No, you can't. Got to let our fans have a chance. James Sims down and hurt.
Yeah, he took a big shot. The Cougars got there in a hurry. Will Dirting sees it right now, reads the play, diagnoses it quick, fights off the block. Now watch this hit.
Ooh, yeah.
3-on-1. That's a big shot. Same play. And Willis McGahee got hurt a couple of years ago. Outstanding running back for the Miami Hurricanes. It's always tough. You got to take a linebacker on with the shoulder, and then the corner's coming unblocked with a straight shot to your leg.
So Tyrone Willingham may have to finish this game without his best running back, Sims, limping to the sideline. Now 50 yards rushing. Remember, only 6 in the first half. So he will bring on Kenny James, who has great experience. Last year, James led the team in rushing with 702 yards and 5 touchdowns. So Willingham knows that he'll need to have that success. He is redshirting maybe the most talented running back, J.R. Hasty. Instead, they'll go with Chris Singleton, the third team back, number 42. His first appearance in the game. Stand back downfield he goes for Chambers, and it's almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Hussein Abdullah.
Abdullah doing a great job of staying at home, holding the post. Stanbeck tries to muscle one in there into double coverage. You see it, guns it. There's 2 defenders down there. Abdullah doing a great job of playing center field, playing big bounce over the top. Almost has the pick. Hits the turf.
So Douglas dropping back, standing at his 26. Harvey has been the return artist. There's a line drive kick allowing Harvey for the return. Takes it at the 13, escapes one man. And finally dropped near the 18-19 yard line. Let's send you to our college football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Well, Fizz, you are putting the finishing touches on Game 2. Game 3, we remain in the Pac-10, and we get to watch this man, Mike Hass, the all-time, he's the all-everything wide receiver for Oregon State, leads the nation in yards per game. It's the 109th Civil War. Oregon State against number 10 Oregon. Their only loss to number 1 USC.
And Mike Goldberg, how about that guy, Mike Haas? 1,425 yards this year on 80 catches.
Incredible.
And he's a guy who walked on to the Oregon State program, might leave as their finest receiver.
Oh, we talked about him earlier in the year. He walked onto the football team and just kept beating the daylights out of the starting unit and just said, hey, we got to get this guy in a lineup. Mike Riley loves him. The whole game plan is to get the ball out to Haas's hands, and he does a great job after the catch.
Yeah, Mike Hass, and he's got a good one to go against as Oregon trying to go 10-1 during each Pac-10 football head-to-head matchup. On FSN this year, a Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance was selected. Pontiac awarded the school $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund. Harrison, just a yard. Well, now here is your chance to vote for the Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance of the year, where Pontiac will award $10,000 to the winning school's General Scholarship Fund. Go to pac-10.org to vote, and for your chance to win a pair of season tickets to your favorite Pac-10 football team. That's pac-10.org to vote now through November 24th. Pontiac is the official performance machines of the Pac-10 Conference.
Jerome Harrison, 1-yard gain, goes out of bounds. He said this is the Apple Cup, not many personal fouls. Well, you can't do this on the opponent bench in full view of the referees. It's an easy call. They have to control the game, so you don't want to call it. You don't want to move a team back with a penalty, but you have to do it if you're the official.
So a tougher road to travel for Bill Doba and the Cougars. They'll be backed up. Second down and 18 yards to go from the 10.5-yard line. So many tough losses, and Doba talking about finishing games. He said we've come up with big plays this year, but not at critical times. This is a critical time.
Watch out for Jason Hill here. Top of your screen.
They roll the safety out to help him out. They throw it to Hill. Hill gets a block and almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but it will still be 3rd down and 12.
Well, the receiver screen has been their most consistent pass play. With as much cushion as the Husky defenders have been giving their receivers, it's almost a gimme play. You make them throw it in front, you come up and you have to make the tackle, and the Huskies are doing a good job of that right now. Again, watch Hill again. This time he's at the bottom of your screen, matched up one-on-one with Matthew Fontaine.
4-man rush. He loops it downfield, and Cody Boyd at 6 feet 8 makes a terrific catch and gets the Cougars first down.
We're watching the play unfold. Alex Brink does a great job of buying time. You see the pass rush, the gain by the Huskies. He gets it out. Now watch this. Up, taps the feet. Excellent. We're watching this play. We thought it had no chance. And then he comes out of nowhere, Cody Boyd does, and makes a big catch for the Cougars.
Throw it up to the big Cougar. Brink 215 yards passing now. He'll run Harrison, and Harrison cut down. Leans forward for 1, maybe 2 yards. It's Gunheim again. I think Gunheim's going to be another in the long line of great Husky defensive ends. This guy's a true sophomore. He's fast.
True sophomore. Has the frame to put on at least 25 to 30 more pounds. I think he's going to be a guy to reckon, a force to reckon with within the next couple of years. Having a great game today.
Hill to the right. Downfield he goes. Again, too tall for Boyd. That's twice now in the game he's gone middle of the field for Cody Boyd, and either he was behind him or way over his head.
Well, sometimes that's your one-on-one, the tight end versus the linebacker or safety. Boyd doing a good job of freeing himself. You see the game by the Huskies. Now watch the window Brink has to throw into. You can see Boyd the whole way. Kind of leads him just a bit too far. Boyd's dropped, or it's been overthrown at least 4 times. They've had plays, just can't pull the ball down.
You can see our camera position shaking. Husky fans are up stomping their feet. Over 70,000 fans here today. Brink from the shotgun, through his hands. And he is out of bounds, shy of the first down. Needed to get to the 45 and cut down at the 38-yard line.
Over snap by Millhauser. Excuse me, bobbled by Alex Brink. Now he's just got to make a play, make something happen, rolling to his left. It's always tough for a lefty rolling to your left to throw it back. tries to get everything he can and gets horse collared on the Cougar sideline.
That's one of the troubles of the shotgun. Sometimes you take your eye off the center to read the defense, and the ball doesn't come straight to you because it wasn't a bad kick or snap by Millhauser. Well, we've got 7:56 left and counting. Washington with the lead. College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera, the new value frontier, and brought to you in part by Burger King. Have it your way. And by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward. And by Cooper Tires, proud sponsor of college football. Here in Seattle, Washington, one of the greatest defensive linemen in college football history, Steve Entman, teammate of DeMarco Farr.
Probably the greatest Husky ever. Long tradition of defensive linemen. Started with Reggie Rogers, coming down to Steve Entman. I've seen this guy do some of the most incredible things from the defensive line spot. Could dominate an entire game from the tackle spot.
But you said ever greater than Hugh McElhaney?
Greater than Hugh McElhaney.
Oh, man, you are going out on a limb.
Can take 3 Michigan offensive linemen and push them right back to the pocket. Can Hugh do that?
I don't know. Hugh was pretty good. He had a 296-yard game against these Cougars in the old rivalry. Here is Stanback going for it. And let's send you to our College Football Saturday studio for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg.
Hey, Fizz, how about South Florida still being on the outside knocking on the door for a BCS berth? They defeat Cincinnati at home today, 31-16. They're chasing West Virginia in the Big East Conference. They play the Mountaineers December 3rd. And oh, by the way, DeMarco, you are our favorite Husky.
I love Goldie.
Yeah, right. Sometimes you just got to let the big dog eat, and you are the big dog. Here is Stanback, rolling around, scrambling, giving himself time, and now he'll throw. Shackelford, first down, 42 of the Cougars. Making plays.
What a play by Isaiah Stanback. Incredible.
Yeah, the look in his eye is so much different than the first half.
Watch this. Play action fake. Breaks down the watch. He tucks the football like a running back. Now pulls it right back out. Turns back into a quarterback. Hits Sonny Shackelford in stride, right on the money. Let me tell you, Stanback is going to be some kind of player next football season.
He will be a senior next year. They give the ball to Chris Singleton, and Singleton in for James Sims, who was taken out because of a knee problem that he suffered here in the fourth quarter. Now getting some time.
And you don't see that much. With most runner-gunner quarterbacks, when they tuck the football, it's all or nothing. They're going for the goal line. They're a running back now. Isaiah Stanback able to pull the ball out, transition back into the quarterback, and throw a strike down the football field. What an athlete.
Second down and 9. Singleton again knocked down after a short game. Let's go down to Carroll.
Guys have an injury update now on running back James Sims for the Huskies. He ended up taking a really bad hit to the back of his right knee. It's quite bruised. It's a little bit tight. They put a sleeve on it. They taped up his ankle. He is dying to get back in the ball game, but right now his return is questionable. Steve?
And Kara, he's so important to the team. Again, he was averaging 131 yards rushing per game his last 3 against Arizona State, Oregon State, and Arizona. It is 3rd down and 5. And Singleton in his place. The lone setback by Stanback. They have 3 receivers on the right side, but all tight. Stanback looking to the right, fires, and it is incomplete, broken up. So I think they're going to punt it, because if you're going for a field goal, it's a long field goal, and then you give Washington State a shorter field to work with.
Stanback dropping back the pass. Tries to fit it in between 2 defenders. Scott Davis doing a great job getting his hands on the football, not being full. Scott Davis is having a pretty good day for the Cougars. He's been their mainstay.
Douglas gets it off, hangs it up. Harvey will let it go, and it will go into the end zone. Chasing it was Russo, but he was unable to get a hand on it. So the Cougars have now 80 yards to go, and Willingham was hoping that ball would be punted just inside. Well, here's a Aflac trivia question and answer now. What is the longest Cougars win streak, DeMarco, in the 97 game series history? You said you knew.
You want me to answer it? No.
Yes.
No, go ahead. I'm letting the fans answer. Go ahead.
No, you got to answer.
I'm not answering. Nope. I'm not
Okay,
gonna do it.
and the answer is 2 games.
I knew that.
Well, Bill Doba trying to make it back-to-back victories. Won last year 28-25. You could tie that mark with a victory. They need an 80-yard drive here with 5.5 left. Harrison through and Jerome up near the 25-yard line. Very close to a 200-yard gain. I think he may have just nailed it right there. That extends Washington State's record to 5 200-yard games, 4 of them this year. Jerome Harrison, 33 carries, 200 yards rushing in this game. But the Cougars are down by 3 with 5 minutes remaining. Hill makes the catch, but just a short 2-yard gain. And there is a flag down. And the first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O.
Another hold by the Cougars. Huskies doing a great job of getting pressure on the quarterback. Really putting it to the offensive line of the Cougars. Like I said, if you're the guy you're blocking winds up beating you, you'll do anything you can to prevent a sack, and every now and then you'll get caught with it.
73 offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Washington State has had their trouble in the fourth quarter this year. We told you 5 of their 7 losses are by 4 or fewer points. And remember, they had a 2-touchdown lead and 638 yards total offense and lost to Oregon State. They blew a 21-point lead against UCLA.
Well, you'd have to think the Cougars are going to have to take a shot down the field now. They're going to have to get some yards in a hurry to stay in this football game and try to set up a field goal attempt, if not score.
It is second down, 16 yards to go. Washington brings 5 on the rush. Brink flings it out to Harrison. Harrison down the sideline and now is out of bounds near the 22 or 23-yard line. So it'll be third down and about 8, maybe 7. Alex Brink, who's now thrown for 224 yards, but he threw a touchdown pass on the very first drive of the game, and he is looking for his second since.
Huskies going to their nickel package, bringing in Chris Stevens to rush the passer. Bottom of your screen, all 220 pounds of them.
Boyd for the first down to the 35-yard line. Boy, they've gone to Cody a lot on big third down plays.
Boy, he has been a weapon for them. When you keep 2 safeties covering the receivers out to the flats, your one-on-one is on your tight end. And Cody Boyd doing a great job of defeating his man and getting open. Brink finds him for the first down.
That was his 4th catch for 57 yards. 3 of those catches have been on third down. Here's Harrison, over 200 yards rushing. Gains about 3, 4 now. 4 minutes remaining. Does this guy ever get tired? 34 carries now in the game. Well, he looks like he's tired and maybe did some damage to his leg.
I think he heard you. He's had a great day up until this point, and this is huge for the Cougars. 3 minutes, 52 seconds to go. More than enough time for Harrison to work the ball down the field, getting into field goal range or possibly scoring himself. Now your best weapons coming off the field. Coach Doba going out to check on. He wants to know right now, what's the status of my star running back? It'll change your whole game plan if you're Bill Doba. You can't run the football. You might have to go to an air attack, which puts pressure on your quarterback.
And the Cougars trying to beat Washington in back-to-back games for the first time since 1982-83. Brink now He's the main man along with Jason Hill at the bottom of your screen. They haven't gone to Hill much lately. They have really ruled that defense, playing zone almost the entire game. And there's the toss to Hill, and Hill can't hold on, but they bumped him. And there may have been a holding against Washington.
Looks like he may have grabbed the jersey. Matt Fontaine locked one-on-one with Jason Hill. Jason Hill gives him a little stutter-go move. Matthew Fontaine bites on it, sticks out the hand and grabs the jersey. And anytime you see the jersey come away from the pads, it's an automatic call for the official.
He came in with a brilliant season. Now 5 catches for 49 yards. This obviously not a catch, but 62 catches on the year.
Well, the hold had already happened. Matthew Fontaine making a play on the football, but Jason Hill already doing the damage with the double move.
This is Harrison back in the game. He wasn't out very long as he gained 7-8 yards on this carry. Meantime, Lauren Langley, who missed from 27 yards out, we told you he can't be hanging his head because he may be needed later in the game to tie or win it. Right now, 3:15 left. Wrapped up. Scott White all over the play.
Scott White showing up. He's got 5.5 tackles for loss. Knows how to get up the field. Watch him shoot. Here he comes. Defeats the block. Comes in and makes a great play on Harrison. Let me tell you, folks, that's not an easy thing to do. Tackle Jerome Harrison one-on-one in the open field.
Alex Brink has Cody Boyd, who's gone to big third down plays, off in the right side. Jason Hill alone on the left. Brink back, looking for Boyd, and Boyd has it. First down, 41-yard line. Boy, he's having one of the best games of his career. And that is it. That was his fifth catch of the game, and that ties his career high at 5 against USC as a freshman.
This time they put C.J. Wallace on Boyd, trying to put a better athlete on the tight end. He runs the same route that beat Scott White, beat C.J. Wallace for the first down. Boy, I tell you, Boyd's really showing up today.
Brink steps up. Now he'll run. Doesn't get much. Leans forward to the 39-yard line. And when you consider Washington State's future, they've got like 4 offensive linemen coming back. Their tight end Boyd coming back. Hill could come back. They'll lose Harrison. Brink will be a junior next year. Washington State really could be strong next year.
Again, the Huskies running the game. They try to run with Grayson Gunheim and Manasseh Boy. Brink does a great job of pulling the ball down and splitting the game and getting positive yardage.
1:30 left. Harvey down the sideline. Look at this. He's gone.
Slot receiver, a great block by the point man, gets him on the ground, allows the receiver to run in untouched for the touchdown.
The point after by Langley is through, and the lead is 4 for Washington State. They have reclaimed the lead, and Alex Brink hitting Trandon Harvey, just trying to get the first down, but a great block, and Harvey home free.
Bubble screen in the slot. Watch Brink, guns it out right now. Now Matthew Fontaine's got to make this play. It's his man in coverage. The ex-receiver, the receiver on the line of scrimmage, comes up, cuts the corner, gets him on the ground. There's no one left if the slot defender can't make the play, runs it in for the go-ahead touchdown.
Bill Doba has seen so many late game losses this year. He wants a late game victory, and he would really love to have one in the Apple Cup against their cross-state rivals Washington. Brink with a touchdown pass on the first drive of the game. He hopes to have the winning touchdown pass on his final drive of the game. Kickoff, short kick. Lewis bringing it back. Lewis to the 30-yard line. Our college football quadruple header continues after our game, with 10th ranked Oregon taking on Oregon State, and then 16th ranked Fresno State looks to upset number 1 ranked USC. Our college football coverage continues all day right here on FSN. You want to see that OSU Oregon game. The Ducks without Kellen Clemens could go 10-1. Should they be one of the 8 BCS teams?
I think so. I think so. Their only loss coming to USC, and that's
they were up 14 in the game.
Had a shot to win the game, or were playing well, and then USC just kind of
took over second half.
Do what they do.
1:14 left. Stand back in trouble. Escapes left from behind. Braidwood pulls him down. No gain. And the clock ticking. Did they take time here? No, they're going to stay up. They have 2 timeouts left. Using a lot of time, though, here. Again, Braidwood from the side. Stand back deep. Incomplete at the 22. 3rd and 10 with 41 seconds left.
Isaiah Stanback trying to call plays from the line of scrimmage. They missed Adam Braidwood, comes scot-free into the face of Stanback, tries to muscle it down. Lucky it wasn't intercepted.
DeMarco, you still have 2 timeouts left. You need 10. You need 10 for the first down. What's your play call?
Well, if I'm Tyrone Willingham, I'm definitely going to get Isaiah Stanback on the move and try to hit a receiver coming across the middle. Give levels. A short and intermediate route.
3 split to the right side. Stand back. Knocked down. 4th and 10. Cougars defense stepping up. Well, our defensive player of the game is Evan Benjamin. Look at that, 14 tackles, 2 for loss. He was the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week for a stunning performance last week against Arizona. But right now, it's his offense that he needs. Jerome Harrison, Offensive Player of the game, with 207 yards rushing. Stand back, 4th and 10. Downfield he goes. Incomplete, and the Cougars have it.
Stanback trying to do everything he can to make a play. Looks like he may have had Robert Lewis open. Broke off the route. A little too late. You watch him. Tries to gun it deep. Get it up and make a play just a little too wide.
And the celebration beginning on the sideline. While the understanding of what has taken place, humbling the Washington Huskies, but a tremendous play by Alex Brink to Trandon Harvey has given Washington State the opportunity to gain their first conference win of the year. And Jerome Harrison, the offensive player of the game and our overall player of the game, brought to you by Kyocera, with 207 yards rushing. And how about this? For Jerome Harrison, he now has 1,900 yards rushing this year.
Wow.
1,900 yards rushing, a senior playing in his final game. And it will be a victory for the Cougars over the Washington Huskies and the Cougars having won only one time in the last 20 years at Husky Stadium. That came in '97, 41-35. Bill Dova with hugs all around. Brink to the knee, and that will just about do it. It does. And the Cougars will end the year 4-7. One win in conference play. Tyrone Willingham will head towards next year with a record of 2-9 and 1-7 in conference play as the Cougars win the Apple Cup in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 1982-83. Well, you hate to see this at the very end, and that's why Bill Dova, Tyrone Willingham got right in there and separated some guys. A lot of guys are just breaking it up, but the celebration is continuing here. DeMarco, this is something you hate to see because these are two proud football schools.
A lot of emotion in this game. It's a big win for Washington State. They deserved it. It's always going to be tough when the crowd rushes the field. If you're Tyrone Willingham, you want to get your guys out and move on and get ready for next season.
Well, a terrific game here in Seattle at Husky Stadium. Washington State beats Washington 26-22. So for DeMarco Farr and Kara Capuano, I'm Steve Physiak saying so long from Husky Stadium, where the final score was the Cougars 26, the Huskies 22. Just a reminder, it's a triple-header Saturday of Pac-10 football here on FSN. And after a short timeout, we'll send you to Autzen Stadium as Oregon State battles Oregon in the Civil War. Thanks again for watching. Good night, everyone.
Late and post a 4-point victory over the University of Washington. And welcome back to Seattle along with Sonny Sixkiller and Mark Ripp, and I'm Brian Davis. That late touchdown is an obvious pick, but Ripp, what did you consider as the defining moment for the Cougs?
Well, I think the defining moment for the Cougs is their defense and the ability to set the tone for the game. That in itself, I think, was a key factor today.
And Sonny, for the Huskies?
Well, they weren't able to stop the Cougars on third down. You look at Alex Brink repeatedly hitting the tight end or another receiver for a key first down, and I think that really hurt the Huskies all afternoon.
Well, as you might expect, a jubilant bunch of Cougars walking off the field here this afternoon after Washington State's victory.
And we always believe, man. You can tell by the scores of our game, man. We ended to the end, man, and this time we pulled it out.
What's it feel like to get one of these wins?
Oh, it feels good, but it feels especially good beating them 2 years in a row. We got the streak now.
I just want to say I'm sorry about what happened in the middle. I don't know who started it, or it doesn't matter, but, you know, our kids are out there on that W. They shouldn't do that. That started a few years ago. It's our place, and you can't do that. It'll never happen again, I promise you that.
You win the football game, then there is no celebration by the opponent. We missed our opportunity to do that. We did not take advantage of that. Their celebration, whether some will say it was prompted a response from us, there's no place in college football for that. No place in the Husky program for that.
We did it, man. It's for the seniors, man. It's for the seniors. It feels good to set them off on this note. As of right now, telling everybody, the Cougars own Washington. Washington is our state. Until the Huskies prove they can take it back. And they ain't going to prove that because it's over. It's over. That 6-year drought, it's a wrap.
And Rip winning this game makes it easy for the Cougars to come back into the gym for those off-season workouts, doesn't it?
Great win for the Cougs. I tell you, the defense set the tempo. Trent and Harvey finished it off. A lot of happy faces in Pullman.
Sonny, where does this leave the Huskies now for the offseason?
Well, a lot of work to do, and I tell you right now what's going to happen, there's no rest for the weary. Tomorrow they get on the recruiting trail and they hit it hard and try and get this team improved where they need to be for next year.
When we come back, Brad Adam will tell you about the best athlete in the state of Oregon. His name is Jordan Kent. That's straight ahead coming up on the Civil War Halftime Report, brought to you by your Northwest Chevy dealers.
End of this game, as you'll see, James Sims 3-yard touchdown run. They went for the 2-point conversion, no good. Washington was up 22-19, but then Alex Brink goes 39 yards to Trendon Harvey.
Great job hitting the back out in the flat, then just used a little bit of SPEED to get into the end zone, baby.
At the end of this game, see, Tyrone Willingham was actually going across to shake hands with the opposing coaches, and the players all came together. And I didn't see any punches thrown, but there was some craziness.
They were talking about each
Giving
other's
him some-
families.
Ty's not a big guy either.
Now, FSN Live.
Where the action is.
College football games come and go, but rivalries last forever. The Saturday we've all been waiting for has come to an end, but the action will live on.
Harvey down the sideline. Look at this, he's gone.
One school put 22 years behind them. Another put last year behind them.
Touchdown!
But today was about more than a win. Today was about bragging rights.
Now telling everybody, the Cougars own Washington. Washington is our state.
The action begins right now on FSN Live.
Presented by your Northwest Chevy dealers.
Hey everybody, Cameron Wong and Matt Morrison for FSN Live bragging rights, and there are parties in both Pullman and Eugene tonight, and I'm going to try to make every one of them.
Well, somehow I suspect the Palouse types are still lighting it up in Seattle as well. Conquest and controversy as the Cougars and Huskies collide, and a dominant performance from the Ducks at Outson Stadium. Along the way, we'll hear from the Oregon contingent that can't wait.
And we got both teams out there and a lot of fans, and this thing might get a little ugly.
It's already a little ugly. You got Cougars throwing blows at Huskies responding.
I am very disappointed to the point of being embarrassed by the aftermath of that football game. It is not, there's no place for that in Husky football and or college football. It doesn't matter whether one thought it was prompted or not. There is no place for that.
I just want to say I'm sorry about what happened in the middle. I don't know who started it, or it doesn't matter, but you know, our kids are out there on that W. They shouldn't do that. That started a few years ago at our place, and you can't do that. It'll never happen again, I promise you that. But this has always been a very class act, and we want to keep it that way.
And forgive me for my soapbox, but I think football, and I've said this on some occasions, is man's greatest game. And I truly believe that. I don't think anything compares. Not chess, not boxing, not rugby. I think this is man's best game. It involves all the ingredients that you see in any other sport. And no one else can do that. And for it to be played the right way, it has to be played by tough-minded, tough-bodied young men that play the game with the greatest competitive spirit, but with the greatest respect for their competitors. And I'm not addressing Washington State. That's not my team. I'm addressing the Huskies. And the aftermath of that ball game bothers me because that doesn't speak to the way college football and the game of football should be treated.
Well, this is what happened in the Applecook game itself. First quarter, Alex Brink looking for Greg Praetor, 30 yards, first touchdown of the game. That made it 7-0 Cougs, but the Huskies, they would answer with Kenny James. A little razzle-dazzle right here. Halfback pass to Sonny Shackelford, and check out the catch over two defenders. 65 yards the other way, good for the touchdown. It is tied up at 7s after that. We jump to the third quarter. Dogs down 13-7 now. Isaiah Standback finds Craig Chambers one-on-one for the touchdown. The Huskies take a 14-13 lead, but the Cougs come back. Jerome Harrison, the nation's leading rusher, 20 yards the other way into the end zone. Two-point attempt failed, so it's 19-14 Cougs. Fourth quarter, James Sims up the middle, 3-yard touchdown. Dogs convert the two-point conversion. The Huskies take a 3-point lead. Minute and a half to play. Brink to Trandon Harvey on the screen pass. Huskies lose leverage. 39 yards on the touchdown. Cougs win. That would be the game winner. And after the game, Cougs supposedly stomped on the W. And the Huskies, well, they're not having that.
Well, you hate to see
the final 26-22. WSU wins the Apple Cup in Seattle for the first time since 1997. Harrison, 207 yards on 36 carries. He has 1,900 yards on the season now. And that, of course, leads the nation. The Cougs have won 2 straight Apple Cups versus the Huskies, and they haven't done that since 1985.
Here we go, baby. We got him, baby. We got him, Chuck, baby. We got him, man. Same thing next to y'all. Same thing. Good boy. Apple Cup.
Finally, man, we hung in. We've been hanging in all year and playing close, and finally made the big play when we had to make a play, and got the touchdown, got the lead. But I thought they battled really hard. So it was a great ball game.
All right, on now to Eugene, all painted up for the Civil War.
Packed house and an electrifying finish as Alex Brink hits Trandon Harvey for the touchdown with a minute and change remaining. Washington State escapes Husky Stadium with a 4-point victory. Brian Davis with Sonny Sixkiller and Mark Rippon. You take a look at the way things went for the Cougars today. They survived a number of issues, turnovers, 3 missed field goals, but they prevail, Rip, in the end.
Well, and one of the keys I mentioned earlier, Brian, was the fact that somebody had to step up and make a play. Trendon Harvey was a goat earlier on the punt return, and lo and behold, he becomes the hero right at the end.
The Huskies continued 6 to battle all day long. They were dominated statistically. In the end, though, the Cougars were able to move the ball late in the game as Washington had trouble, amongst other things, accounting for the tight end.
Well, you know, throughout the ball game, Washington State did a great job of converting on 3rd down, and certainly in that last drive, the Huskies weren't able to get out on Cody Boyd, the tight end, with some crucial first downs, and ended up costing the Huskies big time.
Cougars in peril of going 0-8 in the league for the second time, and well, they did it in 1998, so not too long ago, but they pulled that out of the fire. Rip, where does this leave the Washington State program in Bill Doba?
Well, I think bragging rights and recruiting rights and respect. You know, once you play University of Washington, you always better be on your game no matter what's at stake. And I think, you know, for the Huskies side of the ball, Ty Willingham's got a lot of great things going for him. We wish them well, but for us, that was a big move.
Tough way to finish for Washington, but 6, the consensus is here on the cut that Willingham did a terrific job in his first season at the helm at Washington.
Hey, there's no question, Brian. I think one thing he's done, and his whole staff this year, they've gone out and started to recruit those kids locally and in the state of Washington. They redshirted kids from last year that they recruited from the state of Washington. And the way he set that program from the foundation up, he's done an outstanding job, Brian, and it's heading in the right direction, just like Rip said.
Thumbs up for the Cougars here today as they defeat the Huskies in consecutive seasons for the first time in better than 20 years. Now to the Civil War we go to Eugene and Brad Adam.
Oh, the fog is so low and so thick you can't.
Season looked to be one to forget until you win the Apple Cup, of course. Beating your cross-state rival can do wonders for turning any season around. Top it off with a dramatic comeback in the 4th quarter, and all of a sudden, it's a season to remember. Kara Capuano has more from Husky Stadium.
7 Pac-10 losses, 5 coming by 4 points or less. The Washington State Cougars finally get their 1 Pac-10 victory of the season, and it comes by 4 points. 1 win, and it erases all the rest of the troubles.
We did it, man. It's for the seniors, man. It's for the seniors. It feels good to send them off on this note. As of right now, telling everybody, the Cougars own Washington. Washington is our state. Until the Huskies prove they can take it back. And they ain't going to prove that because it's over. It's over. That 6-year drought, it's a wrap.
This has been a team that's battled back from a lot of things. You know, we've had tough losses, been able to battle back, and, you know, we just had that mentality that we're going to get it done, and we did today.
I feel wonderful, man. You know, for the seniors, you know, Trandon Harvey made a big play, and he's a senior. You know, I think that's awesome. For the seniors to go out with a win. We had a bad season, but to go out like this, it feels good.
We always believe, man. You can tell by the scores of our game, man. We entered to the end, man, and this time we pulled it out.
What's it feel like to get one of these wins?
Oh, it feels good, but it feels especially good beating them 2 years in a row. We got the streak now.
So the 2005 Apple Cup may not really be characterized as a crisp Granny Smith, but rather something that the witch cooked up for Snow White. Regardless, it was the one victory the Cougars needed to redeem their season, and quarterback Alex Brink making history today, becoming the first ever Washington State quarterback to win the Apple Cup in back-to-back years. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Kara, thanks. This rivalry report brought to you by KeyBank. Achieve anything. And it was Alex Brink and the Cougar offense that achieved a lot this afternoon, as they have all season. Nearly 500 yards of offense and twice as many first downs as UW.
Meantime, Washington's shot at finishing the season with 2 straight wins and momentum going into Tyrone Willingham's second year was wiped out with that late TD by the Cougars. The Huskies finished with just 1 conference win, and the seniors go out with a heartbreaking loss in the Apple Cup.
It's a tough loss, and everybody's kind of hanging their head, especially the seniors out there. Nobody wants to go out like that. So, you know, it's not the way that we wanted to finish, but, you know, that's sometimes the way things go.
I mean, it hurts. I mean, you know, you want to do everything in
you know, your ability to help the team win, you know what I'm saying, and doing that, you want to send out the seniors right, you know, it hurts.
Everybody's in there disappointed with, you know, some of the plays they didn't make. Like I dropped that pass. I said sorry to a few of the seniors. I mean, you don't want to send anybody out like that. Nothing I could do about it, though.
The whole year, we had a lot of opportunities to win games, and this was just another one where couldn't quite get it to go our way.
I think the younger guys are going to be able to step up and learn from this whole season. They have a lot of leaders coming back, and I'm excited to watch them play next year.
On the way, the ultimate case of what have you done for me lately? The Cougs' Trandon Harvey was growing goat horns after his third quarter fumble, but talk about a recovery, and we certainly will.
And Duck fans got a glimpse of the future on offense today. Jonathan Stewart and Dennis Dixon, very impressive. We'll have more Civil War.